Hey, everybody. GameHounds podcast. We are back. Hello. Did you miss us? Did you? Did you miss us, Nick?
I didn't know we were gone. I was too busy embracing. I don't know how to end that. I was too
Your
busy
future
playing games.
wife? You were embracing your future wife all weekend.
Yes, actually, that does not sound good considering the games I was playing.
Yeah. Yeah, we were gone last week. I went to the music festival on Saturday. And yeah, I could have probably done something on Sunday, but I was kind of glad I didn't. I was not burnt out. I was not hungover. It wasn't terribly long a day because we didn't go for the whole day and we didn't stay for the headline act, which I kind of was bummed about, but it was a long day. Um, but it was a great show. Man, if you were ever in California, I highly recommend at some point look up the Petaluma Music Festival at the beginning of the year-ish to find out who's playing. And if there's any bands that you are interested in, go to the Petaluma Music Festival because it was fantastic. Not very many people, really good bands. And it was like almost intimate. I mean, even the worst seats on the in the because it was like a grass area,
Mhm.
even the worst seats in front of the main area, you could just get up and then just like go dance right in front of the stage. I mean, it was like very relaxed and chill.
Cool.
Lots of gray ponytails. Chris and I were actually sitting there watching all the people go by because I got the VIP area because it had covered seating. And Petaluma, if you're not familiar with Petaluma, California, which is slightly north of San Francisco, in July it can get really hot. Like it gets super hot during the day, and at 4 o'clock the wind comes in, and then Carl rolls in. Carl is the proverbial made famous by Carl Sandburg, um, the fog bank that rolls in off of the ocean to kind of coastal cities. Like Nick, you can look up at the hills behind, to the west of us, and you can see Carl coming in every night. Like it just
Okay.
banks up right there. So Carl comes in, but there's no like hills on the coast to keep him back, so he just rolls through. So like it gets overcast and nice and cool in the evenings. But we got it covered because I was not going to sit out there in 110-degree heat, and it ended up being like 70 degrees. But Chris and I were sitting there, so we're watching people walk by and we're watching people like dancing and stuff out on the lawn area. And he turns to me, and I was thinking exactly the same thing as he turns to me and he goes, "We don't look as old as all those people, right?" And I'm like, No, I don't think we do. I mean, I've been going by, people are going by, I'm like, he's got to be over 60. He's definitely over 60. He's not over 60, but he looks older than me. Like I'm like comparing myself to these people that are all
I'm
going
not
through.
that old.
I'm not that old, right? That's what Chris looked at me. He goes, "Do I look as old as those people?" It's like, No, I don't think we do. And I'm like, I think it has to do with the fact that we are both involved in video games. We hang out with younger people. Also, we're in pretty good shape
But video
for our
games,
age.
video games keep the skin nice and young.
Well, I don't
You
know.
know, you could put on all the moisturizer you want, but you know what? The best moisturizer is a TV screen. Get
Nothing
that
like
monitor
OLED.
tan, and you'll look young to
OLED.
100.
OLED just
Yep,
tightens.
yep.
Um, it's more that I think because we hang out with younger people and all of our like social circles, all of our work circles are people that are younger than us. Mostly my social circle. They're so much younger than us that we don't think of ourselves as being 58, pushing 60. I still feel like I'm late 40s, if not younger. And I feel that way. I think up like that's my mindset. So I'm not feeling my age.
I mean, I
And
think
if I'm
I think
not
that's
hanging
also
out with the people like,
the
have like wine collections, like actually those people, if you're not hanging out with them, then you're not in that mindset. You're thinking younger, dressing younger.
Wait, you're saying young people can't have wine collections?
I think that more people my age that didn't have wine collections in their 30s do in their pushing 60s.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so in 20 years, I gotta start collecting wine.
You don't have to.
Mm.
No, I don't collect wine.
I don't know,
I
maybe you
don't.
should.
No, I really shouldn't. Here's
That
why
that'll
I
be the
can't.
that'll be the turning point. You'll look at a bottle and go, "That goes good in the collection."
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I look at a
fuck.
bottle and go, yeah, no, I look at a bottle and go, "Yeah, I'm gonna drink this tonight." That's why I can't have a wine collection. I've tried. I've actually gotten a bottle of wine. I'm just like, "All right, I'm gonna hold on to this for a special occasion." And it's usually, like, after I've, like, finished half a bottle of an old bottle of wine, I'm like, "I want more wine." It's like, "Oh, we'll just break into the good stuff."
Yep, AC Wraith, we stay inside and don't get as radiated.
True. That is absolutely true, is
As
that
Yeltsin
all
says,
of those people looked like they'd been outside, like they'd taken up walking
although
or
I don't know if I agree with Helsing. Video games reduce stress, stress makes you age, and video games make you younger. I have played some really stressful games.
not the kind
I
of stress that makes you old, though.
no, the Dark Souls ain't gonna give me gray hairs.
Mm-mm. Dark Souls
Okay,
isn't gonna give you gray hairs because
that's good to know.
ultimately you're doing it because it's fun. That's the difference. Stress that's not fun versus stress that is.
He also brings a good point. Young people like alcohol, not wine.
Exactly. I drink alcohol. Now, it may be wine, it may be beer,
Oh yeah,
maybe Four Loko, I
it
don't know.
also says though many young people don't care for alcohol anymore. Bars have been annoyed that their vice ran out of style.
That is true. That is true.
Hmm.
Because one, it's, like it's well, mostly going out and drinking is expensive,
Oh,
especially in
absolutely.
cities. And young folk cannot afford that.
I'm not gonna pay $20 for a fucking cocktail.
No,
That better be
absolutely not.
the best cocktail I've had in my life.
Yeah, and the thing is a $20 cocktail here in the Bay Area is, like, not unusual. Like, you go to a
No.
restaurant and regularly the cocktails are $17. So, yeah. Anyway.
Play Darksiders, it's less stressful. See, that's why I play single player games. That's why, you know what?
Hmm.
I'm gonna get gray hairs. We'll bring this back around. I remember some of the games that got me the most raging, the most furious, just
Mhm.
screaming at the screen in like white hot rage that now I look back on and go, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was wrong with you? Battlefield Bad Company. Those fucking Battlefield games. Get the tank! Get the tank! Get the fucking tank! It killed me. I'm back. I've respawned. Somebody take out that fucking tank.
Somebody take out that fucking sniper! Get the fucking sniper! Golly, get the goddamn sniper! I'm trying.
And I see gray hairs, Nick. It matches the block. No,
Only
no. I
only on the
dyed
edges.
those. I dyed those specifically to match my gray block character. Those are yeah.
So, how's everybody doing? I hope you had a really good week off. So, yeah, just to remind you, coming up, how many weeks is it from now? It's not very long.
Oh,
Um,
PAX? Yeah, PAX is like
PAX is
3
like
weeks.
3.5 weeks from now.
Yeah. I should start making appointments.
Yeah, we need to start making appointments. And they have released the lineup today. And again, I want to remind you, and I know that there's some people who already put stuff in there. And thank you, AC Wraith, for kind of pimping it in the general chat. Do not forget that in our Discord is a section for what games do you want us to hunt down at PAX. Now, keep in mind, not all games coming out are going to be at PAX. They just aren't. But if it's a particular genre of a game that you would like us to look up, we could do that too. If it's a particular developer that maybe at PAX, let us know. Best, a particular game. And I would recommend that you go do a quick little Google search to see if they were at PAX before. You don't have to, but before you ask, check to see if they're at PAX first. They have released their full lineup. In fact, I may pull it up sometime during the show so everybody can see what it is. And we will hunt those people down. We will make an appointment. We will get an interview, and we will find out all the information that you need to do. Thank you so much, AC Wraith, for the Discord. That is the Discord channel. Go to that Discord channel, put in the special requests of what do you want to see? What do you want to hear about at PAX? Who do you want us to interview? There's a bunch of breakout sessions from different games like Claire Obscure. That's I think the entire voice cast of Claire Obscura is going to be there
Oh, really? Oh,
in
that's
one
cool.
thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's probably
um,
going to be one of the panels.
and
That's pretty
yes,
hard to get into, though.
Ezio Helsing does point out we do have a channel called "Would You Eat
Mm.
This?" and he is single-handedly because he works at a supermarket. He sees all of the different crazy ass foods, especially the flavors like the crazy Oreo flavors and the crazy Fritos flavors that are coming out. And he's, I believe, in like the Midwest or somewhere. So, or like Minnesota, Michigan, somewhere like that. So it's like stuff that we don't see here in California. We wouldn't see here in California. And he posts pretty regularly to that chat of would you eat this? And some of that stuff looks pretty good. And some of that stuff is like not if it was the last bag of food in the zombie apocalypse. Would I eat that? I would rather starve. Michigan, thank you. Michigan. I knew you were up in one of those M states. And thank you. There is the list of PAX West booths. Look that up, see who the booths are. And if you see something where you're interested in us looking at or playing or putting our hands on or doing an interview with, we'll do it. That's what we do. Oh, you just there's a new Peeps. He says they just put a new pic of new Peeps in there. Hey, Corey Wallace is in Minnesota. See that I knew. I knew you were in Minnesota because I had family in Minnesota. They left California to go to Minneapolis. And then they left Minneapolis to go to Bolivar, New York, which is a tiny little town upstate. And I believe that's relatively near AC Wraith, who is in upstate New York. Okie doke. Corey Wallace says, get me some ESO swag. Hey, if ESO is there, you bet your ass I will get you ESO swag. No question.
Okay.
Without question, if I see ESO swag, I am getting you some because I know.
Okay, I'm looking at this. I definitely gotta check out Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
That's one I've been excited for.
Let me pull this up. PAX West booths.
Crimson Desert, games from Poland, Gravity. Oh, Larian will be there. I don't know what they'll have, but
Expo Hall.
Path of Exile 2, Yukio Studios, Wither Coast, Zenny.
Now remember also that the Expo Hall is I believe isn't the Expo Hall just the main floor? Like there's another floor above, like the third floor versus the fourth floor. The fourth floor is like where all the indie stuff is.
Yes, I have to see a map again.
Yeah, here is the list of stuff. And you can see like there's
map.
Oh, I don't know if they have a map yet. But you can let me get this smaller so that you can see. You can actually come on. There we go. So you can break it down by genre of what kind of genre you want us to look at. So say that you want us to look at what would we want to look at? Like horror games.
Ghostfire Games.
There you go. Ghostfire Gaming.
Oh no, that's a tabletop. That's not the Ghostfire I'm thinking of.
Okay. Tabletop survival. Let's see, strategy games. So there's our strategy game developers. Multiplayer games. Japanese, the game. Language learning card game. So yeah, you can do that. See who's there. See who's going to be around, and see. action adventure.
Where
I'm
have
not
I
seeing any
heard
of the big names.
where have I heard Ghostfire games before?
Deca
I feel like
Donuts.
they were in the news recently. Grim
Co-op
Hollow,
game.
Dreckenheim? No?
I am so
Okay.
not seeing like, oh, dice games, tons of dice games. No, goalie would go nuts here. So yeah, go through, find stuff, retail games. I'm really not seeing any big names that are there, like the you know the AAA game. I mean, they do. They have AAA stuff there.
Yeah, well, and maybe they haven't announced it yet, or maybe I don't
Oh,
know.
there we go. 2K.
One of the
There we
things
go.
that would be
This is the one
interesting
right here. This is
one of
one.
the things that would be interesting going there. Yeah, see those Capcom,
Yeah, 2K
Bandai
Games,
Namco.
Bandai Namco,
It'll be interesting just to see what
Daedalus.
PAX is like,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it's been 5 years since we've been there. There was a COVID. There was a pandemic last time we were there. Like when we were going, PAX was like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then COVID
Mm-hmm.
hit and everything shrank. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, what is the status of PAX now? What is it like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah. PAX. This is going to be the first PAX that we're going to post COVID.
Yeah.
So things,
I'm
I
I'm
anticipate things are going to be different. I don't
yeah,
know if
I'm
it's
curious to
bigger.
see
I
how
don't know if
big
it's
it is.
smaller.
Yeah, will it be smaller? Will there be as many people?
Yeah. Will it say what 2K Games is doing?
No. I don't think they have a specific
Mm-hmm.
game.
But yeah, there we go. There's the AAA titles you can find. They're under featured. Larian's gonna be there. Larian's gonna be there.
Yeah, but Larian doesn't have anything. They just put out Baldur's Gate.
No, they just finished putting out Baldur's Gate. They just
Yes.
dropped their last bit of DLC adjustments. They've moved on to whatever they're doing next. We don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah, no, but they're not going to have anything new to show.
Then why are they there?
Because it's just for like community outreach. They want to hang out with fans. They want people to come up and say, "Hey, Baldur's Gate 3 is awesome." And they'll go, "Yeah, I know."
If the voice of Gale is there, I'm gonna have a hard time.
Would you recognize him if he was?
Yes, I would. I would also recognize the voice of Asterion as well. I will get him if I can find either Gale or especially if I can find Asterion or if I can find who's my favorite character? The demon.
Karlach.
Karlach. If I can find Asterion or voice of Asterion, voice of Karlach, we are re-recording the GameHounds intro.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, if you see anything, any games that or any publishers that you see there on this list or, any of the non-featured lists, some of the independent stuff, please, please, please let me know. Corgi's Cozy Hike. This looks good. Yeah, let us know. We will absolutely go and do those interviews for you, but you have to put it into the Discord. Without putting it into the Discord, there is no way for us to know that you want that. So go get to it, guys. Here's the Discord link again. All right. So, now that we've gone through all of that, shall we start the show?
Yeah. I mean, we've already started the show.
Yeah, but we got to do it officially. All right. So, let's start the show.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 788. We are recording this on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. How you doing?
Hey.
The brother turns 57 on Friday. So happy birthday to, I mean, Nick's already, Goalie has already usurped
Okay.
the term "my asshole brother." So I have to just adopt the term "my idiot brother." My idiot brother Ian, happy birthday on Friday. We're planning, actually, he wants to go. Apparently, there is a full immersion VR, multiplayer VR place in Emeryville, and he wants to go with me. And he said Chris and Claire are invited too, but I don't know if they will go, but I'm definitely going to go. Full
that sounds
immersion
cool.
VR. Yeah, be fun. Have you ever met my idiot brother?
I don't think so.
Really? Maybe you should come with me.
I would go. Yeah.
So you can meet my idiot brother, because you are, like, at this point, one of my oldest friends. We've been hanging out
Yeah.
together longer than any friends I had from high school or
Oh,
college.
ditto. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you should meet my idiot brother. He really is a force of nature. Like when the girl child met him, she was like, "Wow." I'm like, "Mhm." I told you that in my family, I'm considered the wallflower. I'm considered like I don't think she's going to amount to much. Yeah. He is all the personality of the family, believe it or not. I just got the leftovers. So yeah. So, games. What did you play, Nick? I didn't really play much of anything. It was
I gotta
busy
remember
for me.
what I played.
Oh, wow.
I did finish Death Stranding 2.
Jealous. Oh, good.
Um,
And the end was
yes.
satisfactory? Emotional, heartfelt. Did you feel like you'd gone through a process and come out the other side a changed man?
Yes, I am. My life is now forever divided into two halves. It
The
was before Death Stranding and after.
Oh, okay.
No, it's interesting because looking back at the game in retrospect, I think it has a really interesting story, but it takes a really long time to get there. And the really interesting part,
That's Death Stranding. That's exactly what Death Stranding is. Why I didn't finish Death Stranding 1.
no, I think Death Stranding was interesting throughout. The second one, it begins with a lot of story, like the inciting incident is really compelling. And then you go to Australia and you just kind of deliver packages. And every time you deliver packages, you get a little bit of backstory about the other characters you meet. It's much more of a ensemble piece than the first one. The first one was very solitary with just Sam and Lou, the baby, on your chest going out. This one is more, you have a ship and you're going out, and every time you deliver a package and bring that section of the country online, you got your spaceship, earthbound spaceship that teleports to where you are, that carries your friends with you. So you're kind of going through the game amassing characters, almost like an RPG, except that you can't take them with you and they just kind of exist off to the side. But you're still, there's much more social game in a strange way. But the end is really, really interesting because, and there's not a lot I can say without getting into spoilers, but also know, like, you will never play it. So I could tell you, and I don't know how much the viewers would play it. So just like FYI, spoilers for Death Stranding 2. I'm going to talk about like the very end of the game when it gets the most interesting.
Stand by. Oh, Nick's, you got a wave from the boy, from the mansion.
Oh, okay. Way back. So you're going through this, and as you're going through it, you're talking to the president of Australia.
Oh, already started. Oh, yeah. He's talking about Death Stranding too.
Yeah, I can hear you too.
Okay. Good to know. Sorry, I had to get an update on who's going to the movie later because they're going to be gone before I'm done with the show. So I need to know who's left behind.
Okay.
Anyway, you were saying.
So you're talking to the president of Australia throughout this. And then at the end, when you connect everything together, the president of Australia reveals that he's not really the president of Australia. But that, okay, this is a world in which the lines between the living and the dead have been blurred. Ghosts roam the land, and if you touch a ghost, it causes basically a nuclear explosion. So at one point in the past in Australia, someone caused this nuclear explosion by touching a ghost, and it killed like 4,000 people. But it also destroyed this like really big data center, this really big server farm. And so what happened is all of those things went to the beach, which is this game's like purgatory. It's just like an infinite, endless beach, and everyone has their own personal beach that you go to when you die before you cross over to actually being dead. There's also like communal beaches where big tragedies like war kind of force everyone together into this like perpetual beach where they're all together. And so these 4,000 people and this server farm got put on the same beach and melded into like this AI conglomerate. And that AI conglomerate was like, we are a new species. We don't want to be stuck on the beach. We want to take over the world. And since we're people and AI, since we're on the beach, we can control the ghosts of the world because we can communicate with them because we're on the beach like them. We're dead like them. And so the whole plan of connecting Australia was basically Wally. We're gonna this AI conglomerate wants to bring Australia online because then they can control the deliveries. Like if everything is connected through the internet, they can just have automated deliveries. And so humanity doesn't have to go outside. You can just sit inside and stay there. You don't have to go anywhere.
Teenager's dream.
And
Never have to
through
go
that,
outside. Everything just delivered to you.
humanity, they'll go extinct, but it won't be like a mass extinction event. It'll just be a slow decay of comfort where eventually you just won't go anywhere. And like we can just kind of shove you off to the side and we'll take over the world.
Got
And
it.
it's like, that's really interesting. And the game kind of plays with this idea of movement as being necessary to humankind. Like you have to move. That's part of being human is traveling, movement, walking. And like considering what you do in the game, that's actually a really fitting theme. It's like, oh shit, I spent the game walking and like I spent the game doing what it means to be human. It's like, oh, this is all really interesting thematic meat that only appears in like the last 3 hours of the game. I'm like, you should have like brought that in earlier. That way you could actually sit with it and think about it more. Um, so it's interesting, but for the most part, it's just yeah, I'm going around traveling, delivering packages, and that's actually really fun because the gameplay it feels good to move in the game. And so just the gameplay and that active movement is compelling. Uh, but I wish the story like got to the good stuff sooner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Thankfully,
well, I mean,
it ends in like it's fucking crazy.
oh,
Like
is
the
it?
last hour, the climax is just what the fuck? This is awesome. This is some crazy ass shit, but I'm into it. Does it almost make sense? Not really. It's like imagine the end of Evangelion, but like optimistic,
Mm-hmm.
like the end of Evangelion, but in a positive way. So like completely opposite thematically, but a lot of the same imagery. It's like
Mm-hmm.
this is wild shit.
Yeah, well, Hideo Kojima is kind of that's his style, is to have this big thematic message about humanity, about what we are, about what makes us human or what makes the situation. And he doesn't reveal it early on. He reveals it at the end. He slow tells the story. So once you're done, then you reflect on everything you've done
Yeah,
prior.
I think the reason that
He's no,
worked well.
he wants these to be the kind of games that when you're done, And for the next couple of weeks, as you're falling asleep, you start thinking about the game and thinking about the theme and making the connections so that the game keeps going. It's like it's one of those ones that it doesn't really hit you until you're lying in bed late one night thinking about it.
Yeah. And I think that works for Metal Gear Solid because a
Mhm,
lot of those games had an A plot of I need to break into this base and stop these terrorists from doing bad thing.
mhm,
And then it eventually reveals the B plot of here's this larger idea about connectedness and universal themes and all this stuff. But that A plot is compelling on its own. In Death Stranding, you've got the good B plot, but the A plot doesn't really go anywhere. At least Death Stranding 2. There is no A plot to really bring you along through the game to get you to that B plot. It's
mhm.
just good gameplay that does it.
Right, and honestly, as much as I appreciate that kind of storytelling from Kojima, that is one of the reasons why I spent many, many, many hours playing Death Stranding 1 and did not complete it. Because it's something that it's a kind of games that you can get lost in just doing things, like running around and doing stuff,
Mhm.
and not progressing or not feel like you're in a story other than you're just kind of running around and looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the story doesn't move forward fast enough to and at a certain point, you realize you're 200 hours in and you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. And I said this before, like one of the things that I really enjoyed about the game is it's just a vibes game. It's chill, it's relaxing, it's an oddly cozy game for being about, the extinction of humanity and the ghosts causing nuclear explosions in this world and it's focused on death and oh, he just ran over a dude. You shouldn't do that. um but, like, it's just, I'm gonna deliver some packages, man, and I'm gonna listen to some awesome Woodkid songs while I do it, and I'm gonna look at some really awesome
That's
landscapes
what I get
while I do
lost
it,
in.
and it's just like,
And then 200 hours
man,
later,
this is
I'm like,
cool.
"God, I have just wasted 200 hours. I have no idea what I'm doing, and, like, why am I here?"
Yeah, but see, that's the thing,
Now
it
I'm
doesn't matter.
bored.
It doesn't matter because 'cause I'm like, after, 80 hours, I'm like, "Yeah, no, this is still cool.
Yeah, no,
I
I
like
I
this."
I hit a wall eventually, and unfortunately, Kojima's wall is farther than my ability to stay with Kojima's gameplay.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
so Death Stranding, you finished it.
I
It's
finished it.
satisfying. You would would do again, recommend?
Yeah, yeah, I'd recommend.
Oh, by the way,
Um,
I think that the things that he was, where is it? The things that he was killing were like these monsters things.
oh, were they the red
Yeah,
robots?
let me show you they're like these things. Oh, damn it. Come on.
The ghost robots? The
Yeah, they're
ghost
like with
mechs?
with the like faces that look like uh
Yeah,
uh
those
Kraken.
those are ghost mechs, which also, like, man, for all the you gotta say, ghost mech is just a fucking cool name for an enemy in a video game.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks really good. This combat. I have not seen combat in this game before like that.
Alright, this has way more combat than the first game does,
Yeah.
and it's all really good. It feels
Mhm.
good.
It looks good. Looks like it feels good. Anyway, so, what else did you play?
I also played the, Dark Souls game of the moment, Wu Chang: Fallen Feathers.
I have heard that a lot of people are playing it and a lot of people are angry at it at the same time.
It's really interesting.
Uh-huh.
So, like, just has some backup. This game, made from a Chinese developer, uh, came out and it's getting review bombed on Steam, and ostensibly it's for performance issues.
Mhm.
And the developer recently came out and said, "Hey, we put out a patch, fixed a lot of performance issues and all that." But like, if you go on Reddit and you go on like other places and you ask, "Hey, how's this game running for you?" Anecdotally, It's all seems to be doing fine. I've watched a couple streamers play it. None of them have had performance issues. I've played it on PS5 and it's been running pretty fine for me. But when
Is it
I
a
was
Souls-like
oh, it's absolutely Souls-like.
with permadeath, the whole thing?
100%.
Okay.
What I've also found on Reddit is that there's a bit of political controversy given its development and its status in China.
Really?
Let me find the
Please
post.
explain.
Okay. So during the time period, this is a Reddit post from Hachima DDJ on the R Souls likes. During the time period depicted in the game, the Manchus and the Han, who make up the majority of China's population, were at war.
Mm-hmm.
The Manchus eventually won and established the Qing dynasty, Qing.
Mm-hmm.
Many Han Chinese regard the Qing era as a humiliating period of foreign rule. So what they expected from the game's storyline was for the protagonist to help the Han resist the Manchu invasion. However, in the actual game, only Han emperors and Han historical figures appear as bosses, while Manchu rulers are entirely absent. Han players see this as the developers deliberately shielding the Manchus and have even gone as far as calling the developers Han Jian, a derogatory term for traitors to the Han ethnicity.
Wow. Okay, that's very interesting, and it's
And so what
especially from someone who's not familiar, like the Tutsi and Hutus that we didn't understand about China that still exists.
Yeah. So like when I was read that, I thought, oh my God, this is like all the is it woke controversy that you
Yeah.
hear in America all the time. That like I assume someone in China is like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Right.
And
Right.
this is
They
just
don't
like,
understand what woke is, but it's like Han versus Manchu. Oh yeah,
yeah.
we
And
understand that.
so it's interesting, like we talked about before, how China is like a growing gaming superpower and like they're
Mhm.
getting bigger and bigger, and the
Mhm.
games go out all over the world. But as part of that, you also get the political controversies that come with that same size, a lot of which are local to a country, but their games are still global.
Mhm.
And so you get this weird like mix of it's getting review bombed. Why is it getting review bombed? There's performance issues. Maybe it does have some performance issues, but there's also this weird political
Political stuff
controversy that's
that
going
we have
on
no dog in that
that
fight.
can very easily manifest as people performance issues.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting. As for the game itself, it has been called Gunnar Souls because it stars a very hot lady, and she has all the jiggle you could ever want from a
Oh, of
hot
course.
lady in a video game. And
We still haven't
and
gotten past the jiggle physics era.
oh, it's jiggle physics for the PS5 era, and you got all the costumes that accentuate her assets.
Oh god.
You can run around in all the bikinis and underwear that you
See,
want.
this is what the problem with China becoming a new, gaming superpower is that now they have to go through the, prurient teenage boy era of like, okay, we need to get past this now. Like Americans got past it. US got past this eventually. But yeah, China has yet to get past this. So they have to like essentially mature. We just have to keep fighting the same fight over and over and over again.
Yep. But the game, to its credit, is just really fucking fun.
Yeah, it
I
looks like
think I think this is one of the better Souls-like games that I have played in a while. Like
really.
it the
Should I
combat,
recommend this to Chris?
if you like Souls-likes,
Oh, yeah.
I
He
would
loved like
absolutely
Elden
say it.
Ring, he adored Elden Ring.
Yeah. This is a lot faster than Elden Ring. This
Faster
is
than Elden
more like Sekiro or Bloodborne
Okay.
or the first Berserker.
Mhm.
And that's one of the satisfying things, the dodge in this game. So what's cool about this game, so many Souls likes focus on parries. Lies of P was a heavily parry focused game. Kazan was a heavily parry focused game. This is a heavy dodge game. You
Oh.
can parry, but parrying and blocking are not abilities that you have by default. They are only available on certain weapons, and you have to unlock them. So the sword that you start with cannot block, cannot parry. You dodge. That is how you like do
And
all
I'm
your
okay
abilities.
with that. I love dodging.
Yeah.
Chris is looking at it. What? That's exactly. He just said it looks kind of like Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's like Elden Ring, but faster, and it's dodge. It's not about blocking; it's about dodge.
So how the dodge works is a lot of the abilities you have are executed using this resource called Skyborn Might.
Hmm.
And you get Skyborn Might by doing a dodge. Or there are other methods to do it. Each weapon kind of has its own way of earning Skyborn Might. So a lot of what you do in the game, it's kind of this constant push and pull of Skyborn Might economy. Um, so I have a two-handed sword. As part of my light attack combo, I go 1, 2, and on the second hit, if that second hit connects, I'll earn 1 notch of Skyborn Might.
Hmm.
If I do a perfect dodge for any attack, I'll earn 1 notch of Skyborn Might. So, as I'm fighting, I can dodge or I can attack and I'll earn some might back. That might then lets me use some magic attacks. And some magic attacks take 1 notch of might, 2 notches, 3 notches, or 4 notches for like the ultimate ones. You also have special abilities tied to your weapon, and you can execute them at any time. But if you execute them with Skyborn Might, they are extra effective.
Hmm.
So, you're constantly earning and spending and earning and spending this Skyborn Might. And that creates this really interesting loop of combat where you're looking at someone, you're fighting a boss, and you want them to attack you because through attacking you, you have to dodge them, and then that will make your next attack stronger. So
Hmm.
you're kind of constantly doing this interesting dance of dodging and then figuring out like what attack do I want to do? Do I want to spend a magic? Do I want to execute this special move? And each weapon has its own very complicated, not very complicated, but its own set and distinct combos. So one-handed swords are really, really fast, and they will earn Skyborn Might passively. So in the early game, I was always running around with a one-handed sword when I was exploring, just so I could passively earn some Skyborn Might. And then once I got into a fight, I would switch to the long sword, which is a lot stronger, but I would already have a bank of Skyborn Might at my disposal to use. Um, the spear, every time you attack with a spear, you earn a different resource that can then get converted into Skyborn Might. And so a lot of the spear attacks are based around earning this other resource, which then gets converted to might, which then gets spent on special moves.
Hmm.
So again, this like dance of resource economy that's really interesting in combat. There's also the level design. I think it's really, really cool. It's really, really stressful, but it's really, really cool
Hmm.
because it feels like there's a lot of space between your checkpoints. You know, like in typical Souls
Hmm.
fashion, you
Hmm.
have a checkpoint where you sit at it and you get all your resources back. It's like, oh, my health flasks come up, I get my health back, but all the enemies respawn.
Hmm.
And it feels like the levels are big, they're labyrinthine. Like there are like you have an area and there are paths just twisting in and out of each other. So there's so much to explore. And so that means there's a lot of space between those checkpoints. And that adds a really exciting tension to exploration that I haven't felt since I'd say like Dark Souls. The sense of
Hmm.
I'm gonna walk through every area because I don't know if something's going to jump out at me. And god damn it, it's been 45 minutes since I was at a last checkpoint. I've earned 30,000 resources so I could level up twice. I don't want to die. I'm down to 1 health flask. Like, I don't want to die. So I'm just like peeking around each corner. Is there an enemy there? Is there an enemy there? Okay, that's a small guy. I'll attack him. Oh, fuck, there's a big guy over there. I don't want to go down that path. Let me go explore this other path to see if it's a shortcut. And that fear that long ago, I once wrote an article about how Dark Souls was like the spiritual successor to survival horror because it captured all of that same tension of exploration and fear that a survival horror game did.
Mhm.
And this game does that, but it also does that with like really fast-paced, good feeling action. And so it's this interesting dichotomy that it can be both you can be an overpowered action heroine, but also the protagonist of a horror game, like at the same time. And it balances those two tones really, really well. Because when you execute all your moves perfectly and you take down a big enemy, like he comes at you, he swings, you dodge, dodge, dodge. Suddenly you have 3 Skyborn Might. You execute a special move, a backstab. You use all of the tools at your disposal and you take them out in like 30 seconds. It's so satisfying to just know, oh, I've internalized all these mechanics in a way that I can just execute them without really thinking. Like it's just become second nature, and that feels good. Like that is the progress you want from one of these games, to go from I don't really know what I'm doing to I am a master of my combat craft. So
Yeah,
yeah,
this sounds like a good game.
I'm really enjoying the hell out of it.
Good. All right. So, what else?
That's it for me.
Yeah. Oh, something that Chris reminded me of that I can talk about that I didn't play, but I did, was the Computer History Museum down in Cupertino.
Also, as he says, bullshit. America has not gotten past jiggle physics and never will.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. They've at least now we know that it's just ludicrous, and we lean into it because it is stupid. China hasn't quite gotten used to the idea that it's kind of stupid.
I mean, if you lean into it, does it matter if you think it's stupid or not?
Yes.
You're still leaning into
It's
it.
right. It's that era. It's that difference between irony and taking something seriously.
I
It's
guess.
it's the
Eh,
difference between I mean, it's the difference between telling a racist joke that you think is funny versus a racist joke that you know is not funny because it is so bad. Like it's
I don't
that
know. I don't know if
very
it
subtle
is the
difference.
same though.
It is the same. It's different. It's slightly different. Now, does it mean that I am not offended by jiggle physics? I'm totally offended by jiggle physics in all ways, but they're coming from a different place. And one I find far more offensive than the other. One is born of just being wrong, and the other one is knowing you're wrong and kind of being like, okay, we're being a little wrong here.
Actually, also on that, like the game knows what you it knows what people want, and so it, unlike other Souls games, has a transmog armor system that's like, oh, why don't other games have this? Because there's a lot of costumes in the game, some
Mhm.
of which are very sexy and revealing, others of which are just like really cool and badass looking.
Mhm.
Some of which are like, hey, a lot of the sexy revealing clothing is like, this is good against poison, this is good against blight, this is good against status effects. So, if you don't want to get burned, obviously you wear the bikini. Uh, but a lot of you have like the best armor in the game is like this big hulking suit of armor. But it
Mhm.
knows, hey, look, we put all this work into making the character hot. You want to see her. So we will let you equip the really strong armor, but then change, like, transmog it so that you see the appearance of a different piece of armor while wearing the other piece, right?
Mhm.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And why don't most Souls games have that? Because fashion Souls is a thing where people like play a lot of the Souls like games, and like
Mhm.
these games are defined by the aesthetics of their armor. And so just in general, the ability to hey, I like how this piece of armor looks, but I need this other piece of armor for the stats. Why can't I just have both?
Mhm. Yeah. All right.
All games should have transmog. Any game with armor should have transmog at this point.
I agree. The Computer History Museum. Let me actually make a
Yes.
banner for that. Computer helps if I'm fingers on the right keys. Computer History Museum. Computer History Museum is in, where is it? It is
Isn't
in,
it like Redwood City?
no, it's not Redwood City. It's Mountain View,
Oh, right.
the center of Silicon Valley. And it is really, really, really cool. But and it essentially goes through the entire history of computing, which has lasted more than 2,000 years, believe it or not. All the way back from Inca using knots in woven knots to use those as like essentially abacus, to be able to use those as calculators for keeping track of numbers and also for calculating numbers. Let's see, where am I? I want to add this to the stage here. Oop. No,
Where did I go?
you went nowhere. Okay, here we go. There we go. And it goes all the way from that to like what's the latest. And it was very, very interesting because one, I was there with Chris's father, who he actually said that if he said, I'm kind of sorry I left Panavision because all of that stuff was never released to the public. So my name isn't on anything. But I worked on that for NASA. See that thing right there? I built that for NASA. And here's my story of how I built it and why NASA was pissed off, because I went down to the hardware store and bought a 6-inch piece of sewer pipe to enclose the whole thing in the nose of this bomb that was dropped, this missile guidance system. So he worked with NASA on missile guidance system. He worked on all of those things, but then he got picked up by Panavision and built the Panavision camera. But Panavision, because it never, released anything to the public, they own all their cameras to this day. There's only like 2 or 3 Panavision cameras that are privately owned, and he has one of them because he got it for his retirement from being the president of Panavision for many years. So it was really interesting being there to see that. They had the Norden bomb site, which my father in World War II, he was one of 3 people in the United States. Many people knew what the Norden bomb site was used to drop bombs in World War II, and it was an innovation that allowed them to be able to very, very accurately pinpoint dropping a bomb. Essentially, it was a computer with a gyroscope inside of a bomber. That was the very first, and it was so secret, and the Nazis very much wanted to get their hands on it. And it was so secret that lots of people knew how to make the components of it individually, but there were only 3 people in the United States who knew how to put it together, and my dad was one of them. And when he was in the war, whenever he went out on leave or anywhere, he had to be escorted by 2 MPs at all times who were armed, because they were afraid that the Nazis might try to capture him because of what he had in his brain. And the order was, if he was kidnapped, don't shoot the kidnappers, shoot him. What he has in his head is too important. We cannot take a chance. Shoot him. So
When
my
do you
dad,
not want bodyguards?
right. So my dad had essentially a death sentence on him until the war was over. And had to be very careful. Anyway, so I got to see the Norden bomb site, which my dad actually has one, but it's kind of cool to see a museum with something that I actually have one at the house. And then we got to the gaming exhibit. I hope if I can find it, the exhibits. So I have to show where the gaming exhibits are. I don't know if it will show you about where the gaming is, but it's like this whole room that goes through the history of computer games. And to see your childhood, because I'm Gen X, I'm like the second year of Gen X. And when I started my life, computers were like 8,000 pounds and cost $1.5 million in those numbers.
They
And
took
today
an entire room.
took an entire room, and they now do something that like is not even like, it's barely a calculation by our standards. And now computers are this. And so we were like in that center range of when we were born, computers didn't exist. And when we were junior high, personal computers started. And then we were all through that. And to be in the gaming exhibit where Chris goes, that was where the thing I learned how to in, like case. That was what I used to program on. That's the first console that I ever made a game for. Like they had all the game consoles in history on the wall. And he's like, I've made games for that one and 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 that one. And then I go down somewhere else and it's like, oh my God, a Merlin. I had 3 of those. That was my favorite game when I was in like elementary school. I loved Merlins.
I've even
I
heard of
totally
that.
forgot. Yeah. I totally forgot what a Merlin was.
Huh.
I mean, I totally forgot Merlins until I saw one. I was like, oh, I love Merlins. I still have many of these Merlins in my, because it was one thing my parents would let me buy multiple of because I played it so much that the buttons would wear out. Just to see essentially your childhood, the things that you owned and you remember as a kid, like playing with, to see them behind glass as a museum exhibit. It's a little daunting. It's a little like, oh.
Maybe you are as old as the people that were in the Petaluma concert.
I am as old, but I don't look it. That's the point. I don't look it. In fact, one of the guys that we saw dancing at one point that was dancing to Camper Van Timmytoven at the end, I noticed him and Chris noticed him at the same time. And, I'm watching him and it's just like one of those people, some people just stand out. Like you just notice them and you're like, don't know why you noticed them, but you noticed them. This one guy is just, dancing along and I'm noticing him. And Chris leans over and goes, doesn't that guy look like he should be on a Cialis commercial? And I'm like, yes, it does. It looks like it. So he's been known as Cialis guy since then.
Just take that exact scene,
right?
Slow it down,
right? That's a Cialis.
Add a narrator, and you're like, that's a commercial.
Yeah, all he has to do is have a hot, wife of about that same age who looks a little bit younger than him, maybe like 10 years younger than him. That's a Cialis commercial. Anyway, so the Computer History Museum, if you are in Mountain View, I highly recommend it. And we gave it 2 hours, and 2 hours was not enough.
Cool.
It's an all day thing. It ain't cheap. But you can get like Groupon tickets. Yeah, it cost the 3 of us, including his dad, who was a senior, was $133.
Oh, wow.
But that being said, we didn't look for any like discounts anywhere. I'm sure there's discounts around. I'm sure there's days that it's cheaper. You can probably go to Groupon and there's probably Groupon somewhere. But if you are ever in the Bay Area, highly recommend the Computer History Museum. It's like I said, even if you are like Nick, your age, you would go into the Computer History Museum, like the gaming thing, and you'd go like, ooh, I feel old.
I know.
I had those. I remember that.
And also
something they didn't have. They did not have a Steel Battalion console.
Okay.
You could probably donate that to them. There were a bunch of things that I saw that it's like, oh, they don't have this. They really need it, and I've got one.
Man, maybe when I'm on my deathbed.
Yeah.
I just want to hang on to that for now.
Just, can you do me a favor? So Rachel knows and your parents know that if something, heaven forbid, if you come to an untimely demise, please let them know that you have bequeathed me your Steel Battalion rig.
Now, I'm going to let you broach that subject just because I want, after I'm dead, you're like, I'm so sorry. I'm here to
I'm
pay my
sorry for your
respects.
loss.
Also,
Can I have
do
that?
you know where he kept the Steel Battalion game? And they'll be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I
So
came to pay my respects
it's a
and to get
Seinfeld
this
it's a
game.
Seinfeld episode
Yes, yes,
in
it
the
is.
making right there. Yeah, no, just let them know. I'm not gonna ask. If you die, I'm not gonna ask for it. I'm not.
And then no, you'll feel too bad about asking, and you'll just be like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" It's like looking in the closet. Where the fuck is it?
Right, they'll never
It's in a
answer.
big box. It's
It's
not hard
big.
to hide. I've got to be able to find it. And then like I'll just take a towel and I'll put it over it. And like, how are you gonna
What
get
do you
out?
want of mine? What do you want of mine if I die?
Your Steam Deck.
You want my Fuck you. Yes, you can have my Steam Deck. I will bequeath you my Steam Deck.
Do I have to
For
find
the
it?
record.
Is
No, I mean, I'm sure somebody will find it at some point. I don't even know if they'll know what it is, but yes, I will bequeath you my Steam Deck. No,
okay?
what of mine do you want? Do you
Oh,
want the
I've
Tesla?
no idea. I have
Do you
no
want the
idea.
Tesla?
No.
Okay. Just figure what else of mine that you want.
I like how Steel Battalion and Tesla Car are like, yeah, those are equal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm. I would not trade my Tesla for Steel Battalion Ring only because I need the Tesla to go to work.
Mm.
That's the only reason. If I didn't need the Tesla, fuck yes, I would trade for that. Anyway, moving right along. So shall we we got lots of news to talk about. What?
Nick likes cars he knows he can always exit.
There's not that many that have locked people in, and there is an
Okay,
emergency. There's an
that's
emergency release.
there's not that many. There should be none.
There is. I mean, I've not heard of it, but I mean, there's an emergency release. There is a manual release that manually, mechanically releases the doors, not electronically, mechanically releases the doors.
Look, there's aren't many instances of people getting locked in their cars as it burns.
Right. But that being said,
The tigers have only escaped once. The zoo is perfectly safe. Don't worry, everything is cool.
there aren't that many instances of a suicidal dad taking his entire family off of a cliff and everyone survives. Everyone in the car survived. Just saying. So do you want to hit the news?
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the news. Sorry, no. That right there. Sorry. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick Nicola. And our first item is
You want to start with the big news or like the big
news.
fun
Oh,
news?
absolutely. No. We still want to start with the big
Okay.
news. Big news, big news, always above the fold.
Well, the past several weeks have been dominated by news of Valve and itch.io, like just universally deleting a lot of adult games from their services at the behest of payment processors. Now, this came after an Australian, protect the children group, which
And Australians have got are an abundance of those. Holy buckets! They
and
take
look,
that
the
very
truth is,
seriously.
none of them actually care about the kids.
Mm-mm.
None of them do.
Nope.
But this group called Collective Shout,
Great name, though.
pressured a lot of payment processors like, oh, look, your credit card is being used to buy this game that features incest and rape and all these horrible things. And so the payment processors went to Valve and itch.io. Well, we know they went to Valve and said, hey, we don't want our payment process associated with these games. I don't know if they went to itch.io as well or if itch.io took proactive measures because there's a lot of adult games there. I think that they must have gone to itch.io as well, if only because why else would they do it? Because we haven't heard about Epic delisting things.
Mm-mm.
And so I wonder, does Epic just not have a lot of adult games on there? Is it really just Valve and itch.io?
Well, I mean, I don't think uh, Epic makes or sells adult games. I mean,
Okay.
somebody in the chat room might be able to have some elucidation on that, but let me see if there are.
That could be why those two storefronts were targeted specifically,
Right,
is
because
because
those are
they're
going to have the
basically
independent stuff.
they're the only storefronts that have it.
Right. I
Um,
mean, they'll
but
have
this,
mature games, but not adult games.
yes, porn games.
Right.
But yeah, as part of this, a whole bunch of other stuff, non-porn games that still deal with sexual themes, all got caught up in the purge. This got a lot of people talking about how, again, this is always like the precursor step to banning a lot of LGBT content,
Yep.
because we're going to ban all this stuff with incest and rape and all these really illegal things that everyone can agree is bad. But then, now that we know we can push them, all we got to do is just change the definition a little bit.
Yep.
And we can get all that stuff banned too.
Sodomy laws.
Exactly. But also, as part of this, there's been a campaign of people calling the credit card helplines to complain about this. So much
To complain
so,
about adult games, or to complain about
complain about the processors
using.
enforcing their censorship views
Got it.
onto this.
Okay, so pushback.
Yeah, pushback. So much so that MasterCard actually put out a statement.
Wow. That's big.
They haven't reversed anything, but they basically say MasterCard has not evaluated any game or required restriction of any activity on game creator sites and platforms, contrary to media reports and allegations. And then Valve actually responded to that to basically say, well, no, MasterCard themselves didn't contact us. They contacted their payment processors, who then contacted us and specifically cited MasterCard rule number. Let's see, where is it?
MasterCard rule number?
In their terms of service and stuff, there's a explicit rule in MasterCard's like terms of service that says we don't want our thing associated with adult content, blah blah blah. Oh, does it not? Does this not have IGN? Doesn't have Valve's follow up?
By the way, that answers your question. Epic Store won't sell unrated adult only games.
Okay. Oh
So.
God.
What are you looking at?
MasterCard response Valve. But yeah, MasterCard says, look, we didn't tell anyone to censor anything. And Valve says, well, no, you didn't, but you got the people that you work with to come to us, and they told us to take down all these games. And they specifically cited one of MasterCard's like rules about it. And so MasterCard's denial rings excessively hollow, considering that, their own rules have been used to have been cited.
Yeah. Here's the open letter. Hold on a second. They have to verify who I am before they go to it, dickheads. We need to verify that you're not a bad person going to our website.
I got
various purposes.
Piece. You know what? I will say, slight digression. In this like recent year of like video game media upheaval, like a bunch of people getting laid off, like a bunch of places closing, the death of Polygon, all that stuff, I've been kind of looking at other news sites. PC Gamer and Games Radar, both excellent sites with excellent journalism. Highly recommended.
So which companies? Because I see many companies named in this letter, but you're only talking about MasterCard and Visa. It looks like
that's
Discover, PaySafe Limited, PayPal, Japan Credit Bureau.
It's payment processors in general. MasterCard is the only one that issued a statement denying that it had anything to do with this. But this goes for all sorts of payment processors.
Got it.
But also, like, has one of the fallouts of this one of the first people to report that Collective Shout was associated with this large purge. Because at first, it was just Valve changed the rules and purged a lot of games from its service, and people didn't know why. One of the first people to connect that to Collective Shout's actions are a writer, and I forget her name, but she reports on a lot of like indie sex games for Waypoint.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you remember, Waypoint was owned by Vice. Waypoint was famously shut down and everyone fired when Vice went through bankruptcy. And the Waypoint then rebranded itself as Remap. And Vice then hired a bunch of people to try to rebuild the Waypoint site. Well, one of those Waypoint writers, those new Waypoint writers, did the first reporting on this, and that was subsequently taken down by Vice.
I
And
believe that that guy's name is Riley McLeod.
yeah, her name.
It's a her. Oh,
Yeah.
'cause, are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I'm looking at an article by Riley McLeod. Now you can stop me if I'm wrong. Although you can never tell about pronouns, but I'm seeing. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, Riley McLeod. If you look right here, come on.
Oh, it could be
That
Anna
looks like
Valens.
that looks like a guy.
It could be. It could be Anna Valens. Someone wrote this. They broke the news. Vice took that down.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, that was Aftermath. That wasn't Waypoint.
That was right. That is two
that
articles
was
by
a big
writer
one.
Anna Valens were removed at the demand of Vice owner Savage Ventures, the
Okay.
latest in multiple deletions at the site.
Yeah.
And Riley McLeod reported on it. Sorry.
Yeah. So as a result of that, a lot of the other writers at Waypoint quit in protest because basically Vice tried to rebuild this site, and then the moment someone breaks a news story, they're like, no, we don't want that. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
So just one reason to shit on Vice. Fuck Vice.
Right.
No one should ever go to Vice.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and so where we are now is just kind of like the payment processors are not going to change their rules. Valve isn't going to change the
Let
rules.
me get this straight.
Wait, itch.io delisted a bunch of games. They didn't delist the games, but they stopped people from being able to buy them, and they want to find itch.io is at least looking into alternative forms of payment so that those games can come back on sale.
Well, let me ask a question.
Mhm.
You can use your MasterCard to go to a sex shop
Mhm.
and buy any number of interesting toys, videos, magazines, anything, right? But
In
for
theory.
some reason, you can't buy an adult video game.
That's because the video games are full of illegal content like rape and incest.
Have you seen some of the magazines that are out there?
Look, you're asking a puritanical, hypocritical, values-driven group like Collective Shout to be consistent in their outrage. And that is just not part of their DNA.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy and a lack of like thought through is part of the DNA of these groups. They lock on to, we don't like video games. We don't like these video games. We want to get them banned. And that's what they focus on, regardless of anything else around it.
It's not about logic, but
It's not about
really
logic. It's not even
that
about
Microsoft, that MasterCard and Visa and all these other things caved on this, because now it does open them up to a question of, well, if they're going to ban video games, what about videos showing, rape and incest? And they do exist, sometimes in rated R movies.
And that
What about, adult, magazines and sex toys and, bondage wear?
Yeah. That's all. Again, you're asking the logical follow through questions, and none of this is actually based
Right.
on that.
Exactly. But you're talking about the complainants. Complainants are a dime a dozen. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and most of the time they stink. That's fine. Those people write their little letter and have their opinion and send it out. They can be just angry and verklempt and, all need to get laid or whatever. But, and I get to say that because I'm a woman, you don't. But when MasterCard and Visa and these corporations cave to them, then it's not the end of the road for them, and not just with LGBTQ stuff. I mean, obviously it's going to embolden these people to ask for more,
Mm.
but it also opens themselves up to potential lawsuits for
Again,
discrimination because there's other things that also depict. So they're put in a position of either they start weeding out retailers, which is an incredibly laborious process, weeding out individual retailers for what they do and what they sell and where they sell it and who they sell it to. They've opened up this can of worms that they cannot afford to, because now they either have to be consistent and cost them a lot of money and a lot of business, or they have to be inconsistent, and that's going to cost them a lot of lawsuits.
and I think you're thinking farther ahead than they did. I think a lot of this.
But
I think a lot of
MasterCard,
this.
that's their job, is to think ahead. They're a business. This is one of the smartest businesses out there. That's
Eh,
their job, to be in business. The little, angry moms over in Australia,
mhm.
yeah, that's their business. They can be as irrational as they want to be. They don't make any business decisions. MasterCard and Visa, that's a corporation. They need to be running on business. They have literally
Wait.
entire departments that are legal departments that
So you're telling me.
can look into this and go, hey, you know what? This might be a bad idea.
So you're telling me that a business should look into the future and shouldn't make business decisions based purely on short-term problems? Because I feel
This-
like if we've learned anything in the past decade of like the American economy, it's that businesses think in the next quarter. Anything beyond that is like, fuck it.
I don't
That's
know. Businesses never want to open themselves up to lawsuits, especially big civil rights lawsuits.
but again, I don't think they thought that it was a lawsuit.
Oh, they had to have. They had to have. They had to have run it through legal. And legal would literally go, do you really want to do this, guys? Because this is going to cost, if you do this is going to cost you millions no matter what happens.
Then here's the thing. They made the
Billions,
decision.
possibly.
They made the decision. So whatever you're asking, they didn't think it through, or they did think it through and decided to do it anyways. Which again calls into question their business acumen.
True.
But also AC Wraith mentions that GOG's response is to give away a bunch of adult games for free.
Gotta
It's
love GOG.
on. If you go to Freedom to Buy, if you just Google that, you should be able to find the website. If you want to get those games, you got to do it soon because the giveaway ends in about 5 hours.
I'm not seeing not Freedom to Buy. Freedom to buy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was looking at the number 2. It's Freedom to Buy. There we go. There you go. You have 5 hours and 22 minutes to claim these games. Oh God, Postal. Ugh.
Yeah, why is Postal 2? Okay, one of the streamers I watch recently played through Postal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That game is so fucking tame. You look at that and you're like,
yeah,
wow,
really
people got pissed over that.
Yeah,
the society was filled with such whiny little bastards in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Postal.
There's a part of me that wants to claim these just out of defiance, but I really don't want to own these. I don't want these on my laptop.
I mean, I claimed all of them just because it's free. Yes, protest. They're on the GOG account. You don't have to download them. But as you're hosting also makes a point. If this is the start, then where does it stop? And that this does feel like the reason that this blew up big is because this is credit card companies controlling how you spend your money. Suddenly, this is like,
Suddenly,
I
you
can
can't spend your money buying what you want that's absolutely legal for you to own.
Exactly.
It's like the bank telling you, no, you cannot withdraw your money.
Yeah, you have your money. It's here, but you cannot spend it
Can't
the way
use it. You can't. We're not going to let you buy that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said,
And of course,
they've
it's all the
opened
people.
themselves up to a lot of lawsuits from a lot of different directions. This is somebody must have said this is a bad idea. Now, I don't know what strategy made them go, we'll take the risk. But the level of lawsuits from so many directions for this is insane. Well, actually, to be quite honest, it's not like a bank because that's not your money. That's their money. You're borrowing that money from them in order to buy it. So I guess technically it's not your money. It's not like a bank using it. But Visa does clear debit cards. That is your money. So maybe they said, Visa credit cards? Yeah. But Visa debit cards? No. That's where I start to say, hey, that's my money. You don't get to tell me how I spend my money. So,
Acerith also says that he's heard Honey Pop is actually quite good, so you might want to claim that one separately.
This one right here.
Yeah, Honey Pop.
I don't know if I want to click on it in the show. All right, I'm just gonna. Yeah, this one right here. I'm afraid to actually download it because this is Chris's computer, and hell no, I'm not downloading this on Chris's computer. Filling up his hard drive with
No, you absolutely should.
No,
you absolutely should.
I don't want to have to explain it.
No, I guess why is there all these games on my computer? You're like, I'm supporting the developers.
Right. It's a long story, but trust me, there's a good reason for it.
Exactly.
No, I don't even want to have to go into that long story. It's too long a story to explain. I'm just not going to do it. So yeah, Honey Pop is apparently good, huh? Who knew? And it's not Honey Pop, it's Hunie, not
Hunie.
Yeah. Right there. All right. So, all right, next item.
Next item.
Yeah, there we go. Honey Pop.
What do I have? Okay. Let's get into $80 games.
Doesn't matter. Still don't want to do it on his computer. I don't even really want those on his history, on the internet search history that he can access.
Just download like Postal and Agony, download the violent stuff. That's fine. He doesn't care about those.
For the same reason I will not download them onto my work laptop. Nope. Okay. Nick is coughing. All right.
Yes.
Next item.
$80 games. Remember when those were a thing? Remember when Nintendo made Mario Kart $80 games and everyone was like,
flipped out.
Microsoft was like, yeah, every game going forward is going to be $80. And people were worried about EA doing it. Well, EA recently announced Battlefield 6, which we'll talk about later. It's going to be $70. Or at least the base version is going to be $70.
Really?
And Microsoft recently announced that, previously they had announced that the Outer Worlds 2 coming out later this year is going to be $80. They then backtracked and said, actually, we're going to make it $70.
Yeah, it's turned into a bit of a third rail, that $80 number, hasn't it?
And so that big push for 80, that all the studios were like, yeah, this is good. No, we need this.
I love this. It's gonna be money. Great. You're gonna love it.
Remember all the shit about Borderlands 4? And Randy Pitchford, like, no, if it's $80, it's worth it. The fans will pay. Oh yeah, it's going to be $70 anyway. All the bullshit over $80 games, and everyone's like, yeah, you know what? Let's just not go there yet. Which also, funny enough, like really leaves Nintendo out on their own. Has like,
Does, doesn't it?
well, shit. Now Nintendo has the
Nintendo's the
most
asshole.
expensive games.
Yep. And I think that that is not lost on me, that maybe that might have been a little intentional. To like, yeah, sure, we'll all go to 80. You go first. You go first. Nintendo, you go first. You go
Oh,
first.
I'm sure
And then they go $80, and everybody's like, yeah, no, we're gonna go 70.
I think everyone loved it, and so when they saw Nintendo do it unexpectedly, they're like, "Fuck yeah, they're the first in the water. Everyone going after them."
Everybody into the pool, and then all of a sudden it's like, release the sharks.
Yeah, and then they got a surprising amount of pushback, and they're like, "Oh, people don't like this? Oh
Really?
shit. Maybe
Wow.
maybe we shouldn't do this. Okay, get out of the pool. Get out of the pool."
Everybody just quietly back away from the pool, and it's like, we never intended to go in the pool. It was just, we thought about it. We decided it
We
was
never
not
intended
really a good
we
idea.
tripped into the pool. Someone
Right.
pushed us into
We
the
we
pool.
we came up to the edge and looked down at the water and realized, you know what? We'd rather not go swimming
We
at
dipped our
all.
toe in, but it's a little cold. I only swim in heated pools.
Yeah. I mean, we thought it was best for everyone if we just stayed away from the water. Meanwhile, Nintendo's like, glug, 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 glug.
They're drinking the pool.
Oh, yeah. So, and I think that's, in a way, I think that video games is doing something that is very healthy for the economy. Unfortunately, the rest of the economy is not doing it for itself. And that is pointing out that the cost of purchasing things has to be in line with the earnings of the people that buy it.
Yeah.
And if you don't raise people's wages to be commensurate with extra costs of things to buy, you're going to have to keep those numbers low. You're going to have to lose money. And this is a
And
reality that corporations have been trying to stave off for decades. Is they've been trying to ignore the fact that people have to make money in order to spend it. A very, very basic common sense, you know, infantile on level of knowledge about economy is that people have to have the money to spend the money. And there's credit can only go so far. But eventually somebody's going to have to actually make the money to be able to spend stuff. And if you want to increase the prices of stuff, you got to increase the wages that people make so they can buy that stuff.
and
And if we're hitting that critical mass of where too many people cannot afford basic things.
yeah.
And it's not like what Pitchford said is people will find the money. People won't find the money. That's like saying the price of, housing's always going to go up. So I can go get adjustable rate, you know, loans all the time because housing will always be more expensive, right? It'll
Well,
always go up in value. No, it
especially for
won't.
gaming, there are so many sales. Literally, there is never a moment. Like I has this like for fun. I always browse the sales on the storefronts.
Oh yeah.
There is literally never a time when something's not on sale. Like right now, if you go on the PlayStation storefront, you'll see there's a sale going on. And it probably ends in a couple days, right? It probably ends in like mid-August. You know what
Mhm.
happens when that sale ends?
Another one starts.
Exactly. And
Yep.
that'll go for a month. And then the next month there's a new sale. And the month after that,
Mhm.
new sale. Like everything's on sale all the time.
Right.
And so if you put out like an $8 game, well, people will just wait for it to go on sale cheaper.
Right.
And I do think this also comes amidst the time when a lot of other games are
Jesus, that's a
experimenting
good
with
deal.
cheaper prices.
Check out
Because
that deal right there. Call of Duty World War II
what is
Gold
that?
Edition. It's $20.
Oh,
That's a really good deal.
now how much is Kazan? Oh, Kazan's still like 50. But Claire Obscura and Wu Chang, their base games, $50. Like not even $60. Not
Mhm.
even the base. They're
Mhm.
$50.
Mhm.
Like I think seeing pressure from these smaller game companies, the AA games, I think they're putting an actual financial pressure on the larger companies because I could pay $80 for a game, or I could pay literally almost half that for a brand new game.
Jeez, look at that. Kingdom Come Deliverance Gold Edition is going for $67 instead of $90. Wow.
Yeah, and like, hey, I say, oh, look at EA. They're charging $70 for the base game of Battlefield, but you know what? There's also going to be a $100 edition of that game.
Mhm.
So like there's almost no point raising the base price because all these companies offer multiple versions that basically allow them to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah. By the way, I
Oh,
want everyone to notice there's 160 pages of this.
oh, absolutely. No, okay. You want to know what to do on this page? Scroll up. I always no, all the way to the top.
I am
Go to sort and filter and click on full game. Because I don't want to see the DLC that's for sale.
point.
Okay, now how many pages is it?
87. So
Okay,
half as much. A
yeah,
little half.
it's still a lot, but honestly, like you get to the first 10 pages, that's all you need.
Right.
Oh wait, the Midnight Walk. I actually wanted that one. Maybe I should. I gotta look into that.
Where is that?
It was just on the page you were at.
$30 instead of $40. 25% off. Jesus, NFS Heat, normally 60, now $5.99.
Yeah, okay. That's an old
90%
game.
off. Yeah, I know.
Not only is that an old game, that's also kind of a bad game.
Yeah, Persona Royale, highly recommend. Yeah, these are some good ones.
Yeah, so like everything's on sale. A lot of new games are coming out cheaper, and a lot of the publishers have just different editions of the game with a lot of digital goodies that don't actually cost them anything to make. EA is going to have $100 edition of the game that's just digital goods that doesn't come with like the statues and stuff that we used to get for the $100 versions that actually cost money to produce. And so like they're not really losing anything out on that.
Nick, good news. Sex Shop Supermarket Simulator is on sale.
You know what? It actually has good reviews.
Really? Oh, look at
Look at
that.
those.
52 ratings.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. 44% 5 stars, 17% 4 stars.
You either love it or hate it.
All right. Anyway, enough of that. We can move that off. So yeah, that's great that it stalled, and
Yeah.
I hope that this is one of many things that is going to stall. This is, I mean, it's going to take a long time for this to percolate through society,
Well,
but
I
I
also
think
think
this is a
it's
perfect example of what's about to happen in all markets, because eventually people are just not going to be able to afford
hopefully.
things to buy things anymore, and
Or
sales will
what'll
slow. And all of a sudden, somebody's gonna go, "Hey, you know how we can increase sales? It's if we give people more money to buy shit."
what'll happen, it is what AMC is doing, and they're not gonna raise ticket prices, but they're gonna put commercials in between the previews before
Right,
the movies.
right.
Which fucking pieces of shit. God damn it. I don't want to see a goddamn Coke commercial in between trailers. Anyways, Helsing also says, don't forget to claim last month's games as they're about to change to the new ones.
On which?
PlayStation.
Or
Yeah, PlayStation changes on Wednesday, I believe. And actually, their August games, the upcoming free August games, include Lies of P, which I'm really
Really?
looking forward to playing a little bit. I only played the demo. And he also mentions that Oblivion Remastered is on sale too.
Good to know.
Okay.
All
What do
right,
you got?
anyway, moving right along. Okay, let's talk my first thing. Battlefield.
Okay.
So yeah, that's also really dominated a lot of news this week. On, I believe it was Thursday, the DICE and showed trailers for the new Battlefield, showed gameplay trailers. Looks fucking awesome. Oh my God. They did also announce that the release date is going to be October 10th, which is more than a month from what estimates were. Estimates were like October 17th, October 20th. Sorry, November 17th, November 20th. Turns out it's October 10th. Also, there is an open beta this week. The open beta, did I close it? Okay, good. I have the dates for it. Let's see. August 19th is let's see. Oh no, that's something else. Where is the battlefield? All right. Beta is going to take place over 2 different weekends. The first one is going to be next weekend, August 7th and 8th. The next weekend is set for August 9th. Sorry, early access period is 7th and 8th. The first weekend is August 9th and 10th. So that's a week from this weekend. And then the second is August 14th and 17th. So that's 2 weeks from now. So if you want to be in the early access, I guess all you have to do is, have you signed up for it, Dick?
No, but it's open beta.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be
Well,
able
the
to
open
download it.
beta is 7th and 8th, but the open beta is 9th and 10th. August 7th and 8th is the early access, which
Well,
you
maybe
do.
I should sign up for those because I won't be able to play the open beta.
Yeah, not the one on 7th and 8th. Or sorry, 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
So yeah, Battlefield 6 is going to be October 10th for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. So it's not shipping on multiple generations of consoles. It is only latest gen console. And so that's officially announced. The other thing that was kind of teased at in the trailer, and confusingly so, is that it looks like there's going to, well, we know there's going to be a battle royale involved, but in the trailer, it kind of showed the guys running from something, and then eventually the camera turns and you see it's a wall of flames moving forward. And so it gave the idea that it might be named Firestorm, which, if you remember, that was the battle royale in, I forget which.
Yeah. One of
It wasn't that
them.
great. It wasn't that great. I didn't like it. I thought it was all right, but it didn't catch fire. Haha, pun intended. Like other, like it wanted to, like other battle royales at the time, like PUBG or Fortnite.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't know if it's going to carry the Firestorm name or not, but it is kind of, would be funny if they did name it, since Firestorm is kind of like their notoriously failed battle royale of the past. Sorry, Battlefield 5. That was when they introduced
I mean, why
Firestorm,
wouldn't they keep the name?
because it was kind of tainted by the fact of it failed so poorly. It failed really badly.
But like, that's the
Really
name of
badly.
the mode.
Yeah.
It's like, what else are they going to name it?
Uh,
I don't know. But I assume that that's also going to be the free to play version because
Possible. Well,
uh,
it's going to be made by Ripple Effect, who was the studio behind Battlefield Portal, which was, I believe, the free to play thing, their side event.
because
So
there's that big leak a couple weeks ago that Oz Technica talked about.
yeah,
And in it they talked about how EA wants this to get to 100 million players, and one of their ideas about how to do that is by making the battle royale free to play, because you can't get to those numbers with a paid game, especially Battlefield. Like, it just
Yeah.
doesn't hit that number.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, and in the chat room, anybody planning on doing the Battlefield open beta, the Battlefield 6 open beta? I'm debating it. I mean, I don't know if you've seen. I'll pull it up.
There's tons of videos out there of people playing the game.
Right,
Like,
it's
it is
actually
not
immediately
hidden.
after the big reveal and the gameplay video, then a bunch of streamers just streamed all, the early access. They obviously had copies of it, and they've been streaming it, and it's a ton of it. So, but even just the trailer, it looks pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I want this, and there are multiple points in it that make me want it, especially going into a um going into like a multi-level building and knowing that there's guys below you on the floor below you and using a sledgehammer to bust through the floor and then shoot down into the room. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, I love that. The destructive environments obviously look even more destruct. Everything can be blown up. Everything can be shut down. It just looks so awesome.
No.
It
Bartender
reminded me.
says you should do it and stream it.
I should. Should I? I mean, I'm terrible at it. I love Battlefield. I am terrible at Battlefield. I die constantly, but I love it. Um,
Like, okay, I'm watching this and it looks cool, and I want to be excited for the game, but I also remember watching the trailer for
okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
2042.
Here it is. Here it is. This. Look at this. This is awesome. How awesome is that? You can just jump down into the middle of them and take them all out.
Like, that's cool, but I remember when we were watching the trailer for Battlefield 2042,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, this trailer highlights all the stuff I love about Battlefield. But then when we actually played the game, it was like, oh, this isn't really that fun. This doesn't capture that feeling that the trailer did.
Yeah.
And
True.
so I think this looks good, but I also do not want to give EA the benefit of the doubt. They will always find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Well, Battlefield more than any other game does have that history of making trailers that look great, and the gameplay when you actually play it is kind of. But it also has a lot of history of making really great gameplay, so it could go either way.
It does. That's why I want to believe in them, but also like let me see how it's received first.
Thank you, Random Rick Reviews, for the bless you on that one. Random Rick Reviews says, yeah, stream it so we can see firsthand disappointment. AC Ray said, oh, wait, there will be a third-person mode? Possible interest then.
think there's a
don't
third-person
know.
mode.
Is there a third-person mode on this? Oh, I should probably take that off. I don't know if there's a third-person mode. Will there be a third-person mode on Battlefield 6? You know what?
I mean,
It is my quest that every single developer interview that I do at PAX, I will ask if they have a third-person mode. Strategy game, do you have a third-person mode? Dice game, do you have a third-person mode?
Do you have a third-person mode? This is a board game.
Yeah. Battlefield 6 has been revealed. It has not been officially confirmed whether it will include a third-person mode.
Like I'm sure that there are some third-person animations, and like all the vehicles are third-person. The vehicles have third-person modes.
Yeah, vehicles, but I'm talking about not the vehicles.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. You know what? I am going to put this in the ear of Chris, of saying, hey, if you can.
Put a third-person mode in Call of Duty?
Yeah. And if
I mean, you know what? That would be different.
There's a lot.
Oh, that's how you sell it.
After you ask the third-person mode, you have to say, like Fortnite, right after you ask. Yeah, I'll tell him that's how he wants to do it. Wants to say that to people. Yeah, yeah. I'll point out that there's a lot of people who don't play this game because either they don't like first-person mode, or they can't play third-person mode. But yeah, let's have a third-person mode, like Fortnite. It's not that hard.
Yeah. You want to be like Fortnite, right? You don't want to play second fiddle to Fortnite. You got to be.
Well, they very much want to be Fortnite, and more than Battlefield. Call of Duty very much wants to.
Just imagine how many more people will buy those skins if they could see those skins.
I'm writing this shit down right now. I will absolutely see if I can because Chris is now all shiny and new. And so things that he's suggesting and recommending, everybody's like, ooh, so this is the time if he's ever going to be able to make a suggestion. This is the time to make the suggestion because they're listening to him because he's new and shiny.
And he does say, AC Ray says, you have to point out that it's about sim sickness rather than somebody who wants to look at an ass in custom clothes.
Yeah, but if you say sim
I
sickness,
don't
no.
know.
This
I
is
think
this is
that part, the ass in custom clothes, that's actually a better argument for the business than sim sickness.
this is jiggle physics, dudes. This
We
is the
sim sick
equivalent
get
of
that
jiggle
fashion
physics.
show nonsense thrown at us a lot.
Yeah. You tell everyone it's like, oh, well, people want to have, completely customizable clothing, but it's about jiggle physics.
Exactly.
That's what sells this. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what Chris also has to add. Jiggle physics. Imagine how many more skins you could sell.
If you had jiggle physics in Call of Duty, fuck, I would make a mod.
You see those people slide and jump? Just imagine if that ass was bouncing every single time you moved.
We SimSick get that fashion show nonsense thrown out at us a lot. That's true. But you know what? If it gets you third person, I don't care how it gets you there. I don't care what freeway gets me to the promised land, as long as it gets me there. Yeah, show them X-Men Rogue skin. That will sell it. Rick, do you want to be like in my ear? Can I get an earpiece for you when I'm having this conversation?
He clearly knows the game.
Oh yeah, he clearly knows how to write a compelling argument. Yeah, no, I'll see what I'll see. I mean, I could ask and know that has been said to someone making the game. Supposed I could do. So yeah. It doesn't get us third person. It gets us forums full of players who write us off and insult us. I know, and it sucks.
But you might still get third person.
Right, but I'm going to bat for you. I'm just using a different argument to get there. Like I said, doesn't matter the road, just as long as it gets you there. And I'll see if I can get you there. So yeah, Battlefield. Will I stream it? No. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Hard to say. But I do love Battlefield. Trust me, it is hard having somebody working on Call of Duty when you so can't stand Call of Duty, when you so prefer Battlefield, when it's just a superior product. It's just a better game. It's a better series.
Okay, I agree that I prefer Battlefield, but Call of Duty wasn't bad. I enjoyed the time we spent with it. I enjoyed
It's all right, but I mean, it's just not my kind of game. It's like I said, it's Fortnite. It's a little too Fortnite for me to enjoy it. I
play the campaign, and I think then you'll get the fun of.
Yeah, and I do like the campaign. I don't mind the campaign. I like the campaign.
Yeah,
but I don't like the multiplayer as much as I like battle. Like I don't think I've ever played a Battlefield campaign. I just go right to the multiplayer because I so fucking love it. Now, that being said, I have not played Call of Duty.
That's one of the games that GOG was giving away for free.
Yeah, actually, Chris and I went to go see the new the Spinal Tap remake, the re-release of Spinal Tap, the original. And as we were coming back from them, we're talking about the new Spinal Tap that's coming out soon, and how that it's like the whole premise is that the son of the original manager is coming back to the original members of Spinal Tap, saying that they're they become hot again because of like a commercial or something like that. So now they need to tour again, and they're all in their 70s and 80s at this point, and he kind of made just kind of like throwing out scenarios, and he's like, oh, and you can have a video game that releases with the sequel, Call of Booty. Because remember they had fat bottoms. Talk about mud flaps. My girls got them. Big bottoms drive me out of my head. out of my mind. How can I leave this behind? That's one of their songs. But yeah, Call of Booty. Thank you. Thank you for the link. If you've never seen This Is Spinal Tap, you must see This Is Spinal Tap. Not seeing Spinal Tap, the original, is kind of like going to see the Police Squad movie without having
Naked
seen
Gun?
the Naked Gun movie, without seeing any of the original Naked Gun movies.
No,
Much
I
of
have
it is
to.
lost on you.
No,
Well, it's not lost. Some of
No.
it is lost, but
no,
the old ones,
no.
far superior.
Hardcore.
Far superior.
I haven't seen the Naked Gun movies.
I did. Far superior.
No, I haven't seen the old Naked Gun movies. I went to see the new one. Really enjoyed the hell out of it. That's a really fun,
Good.
good movie.
Great. Now go back and watch the originals, because the originals are. If the new Naked Gun movie is like a really good steak dinner, that's like Kobe beef, filet mignon, prepared by a James Beard award-winning guy. That's a Thomas Keller steak. Naked Gun was 100% about the casting. And Leslie Nielsen, who was the original Frank Drebin, Liam Neeson is good. He's great. He's no Leslie Nielsen. It's you have to see the originals.
No, I do want to. I'm just saying that you don't need to see the original.
No, you don't
to
need to see the
have
originals,
fun with
but
the
you
new one.
really, really should. If you see this new one,
There's
and
no continuity.
and you think it's like funny. No, there's no continuity other than the fact that Liam Neeson plays Frank Drebin Jr.
Yeah.
And like early on, there's a gag about
the old
Police
cast
Squad movies
Yeah.
that included that has an O.J. Simpson in it. The reference that's fucking hilarious if you know what it's about, if you've seen the original movies. But yeah, no, please, 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 if you like a new Police Squad, please go back and watch the original Police Squads, the Naked Gun movies. Just go. Also, go see This Is Spinal Tap. That is a seminal work in filmmaking. This is like Monty Python. It's one of those movies that gets quoted and you don't even know you're quoting it.
Okay, because see, the only quote I know of it is the
Corey,
whole.
what are you posting
this
in
goes up to
Discord that's
11.
making my phone go? My watch is going nuts, and I just see Corey Wallace post in Discord.
Yeah, the only quote I know was the this goes to 11. What makes it better? It goes to 11.
How black can it be? None more black.
I haven't heard that one.
Puppet Show and Spinal Tap.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, you got to see it. You've never
I'll
seen
see.
Spinal Tap?
No.
You've never seen it?
No.
Nick, we really need to have a movie night.
I'm too busy watching new movies.
When I get the new OLED up in my house.
Okay.
And I break up with Chris. Come on over. Hang out with me.
Look, whenever you get the new place, we need a housewarming party.
I know. Oh, absolutely. We need a housewarming party. That's gonna happen. I mean, the thing is I only have 4 glasses. I made a point of keeping everything small. I'm not.
We can bring over our own glasses.
Okay, all right. But yeah, no, we'll just do a little quiet. I'll do multiple quiet housewarmings instead of one big housewarming. But we are gonna have a freaking movie night, and you are going to see important works in filmmaking. Spinal Tap being one, and all of the Naked Gun series. Tell me you've seen Airplane.
No.
Oh my God! How do you not? Chris! I mean, Nick! Jesus fucking Christ! How have you not seen Airplane?
You don't need glasses. Buy Solo cups.
Absolutely. It's a red Solo cup. I fill you up. Let's have a party. There is a song called The Red Solo Cup. Yes.
Okay.
But Airplane. Surely you're joking. I'm being absolutely serious, and stop calling me Shirley. That's Airplane.
Yes, I know. I've heard all the jokes from Airplane without having seen Airplane.
I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue.
Cultural osmosis is a hell of a thing.
Cultural osmosis is a hell of a thing, but okay. We are going to have a Leslie Nielsen movie. Going to go through the whole thing. Going to
We can
go
do
through the whole
that.
thing. You need to see Airplane and then all of the Police Squad movies.
What was I saw one parody. It had Emilio Estevez on it.
Toby
What
Keith,
was
you're
that
right.
one?
See? Good man. You know.
There was a Lethal Weapon parody with Emilio Estevez.
There was a Lethal Weapon
What
parody
was
with
that?
Emilio Estevez. There was also
I've
Top
seen that
Secret.
movie.
Top Secret was another one, which is a spy
I might
movie.
have seen Top Secret. I saw the Rambo parody one he did.
What was it? Top Gun parody
No,
movie.
Lethal
Hot
Weapon
Shots.
parody.
Hot Shots
Yes.
was the Top Gun one.
Hot Shots Part 2. No, what
Mhm.
was the Lethal Weapon parody? It wasn't Naked Gun.
Loaded Weapon.
Loaded Weapon. That's what it was.
hmm
Ah, yes. Thank you, AC Ray.
And actually, of all of the parody movies, the really, really good parody. I mean, the really of those kind of like screwball, surrealist kind of movies, surrealist comedies. Top Secret. It's right up there with the Leslie Nielsen movies.
Yeah, that was the one that had the underwater fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the most impressive stunts in the history of film. Like if you watch it, it's like a whole bar fight shot underwater, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking like when I did that parody, that lookup on Google with the parody, it says all people also search for Naked Gun, Spy
Oh
Hard,
yeah, National
Hot.
Lampoon. That's who did all of
Yep,
them.
yep. Wrongfully Accused, Fatal Instinct, Naked Gun 2.5. So yeah, all of these Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Yeah, I've
These
seen
are
that
all
one.
fantastic. But yeah, no, the Leslie Nielsens, you got it.
Wait, keep going. Keep scrolling that list. One more.
Silence of the Hams.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Silence of the Lambs, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is that there? Like Demolition Man isn't a parody.
No.
I mean,
There you go.
it might
That's
as well
Top
be,
Secret.
but
Such a good movie.
anyways. Okay, anyways. What's the next item?
Okay, sorry, we got talk about tangent. So that's let's see, the only other thing I got two things. And one of them you actually brought up. You have in your list.
He put the Toby Keith Red Solo Cup
Yep,
of
that's
music video into Discord.
Oh, he put the video into it?
Yeah.
The actual video.
Oh, I like Demolition Man. Tell Hazio. Demolition Man is a fucking classic.
Yep.
Demolition Man is
absolutely.
Look, is it like an absolutely cliched 90s action movie? 100%. Is it like Catnip? 100%.
All right, so moving right along.
Okay.
Is this a show about video games? All right, Elden Ring. So they've been promising the duo mode, right, for a really long time. You know that you could play 3, you could play 1, but you couldn't play 2 from the day it came out.
Yeah, 3 C cells.
What is that?
Demolition Man.
Oh yeah, sorry. So there was original. I mean, from the very outset, everybody noticed that you couldn't play 2 players. So they were like, "Dude, is that really important?" I guess it is. Everybody's asking for it. Let's do it. So they had to kind of create a 2-person mode for this game. It took a while, obviously, but last week it was supposed to be released last week on the 30th, July 30th, which I think was Wednesday. And it was all set. It was a big day. Night Rain was finally going to get 2-player stuff, but it ended up getting delayed for a very, very good reason. Wednesday, Japan had a tsunami warning, as did all of us in California and most everyone in the Pacific. We had a tsunami warning here. You got one, Nick, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Everywhere, all up and down the coast, everywhere. and I'm talking about up on the other coast of like North America and South America and Asia. All got it. So Japan being right near where the epicenter was off the coast of Russia, everybody evacuated to high ground. So that delayed the release until the next day on the 31st. So it was a 24-hour wait to not only get that that new thing, but also an update or the next cycle of the Everdark Sovereign, which was going to bring even tougher Night Lord bosses.
And
Gaping Jaws, Dark Drift Knight, and Sentient Pest.
And I've heard that the secret actual best thing in this update
Mhm.
is a new way to filter the runes you get.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Because you get a lot of.
You get a lot. There's really no way to organize them.
I really wish. Can you break them down if you don't want them?
I
Or
think you
give
can
them to
sell them.
somebody else?
I think you can sell them in the jar shop.
Okay. Because
But that's
there's a
it.
lot of runes I don't need or want, I
Yeah.
think. But that's the thing, is that I'm only playing Deadeye right now. And I'm afraid to try anything else.
Yeah.
So I
Look,
don't want to get rid of my runes, but I don't have that many right now.
if I've learned one thing from playing Souls likes, it's that you
Don't
always
throw away
hoard your items.
All right, I will hoard
Now,
those.
here's the thing. They always give you a ton of items. I never use items. I don't know why. It's a curse. I just hoard it. I'm like, you know what? I could use this item to give my sword electricity, but what if I need it for the next boss?
No,
And so
well,
I just won't use it.
no. You should use it for the ones when you choose a boss that is weak to those elements. You should absolutely use those.
But if I use it and I die, then I've used the item and I
You get
and I
another
lost
one.
it.
Life the items are a dime a dozen. They're like, they're like buses. There'll be
Yeah, see,
another
look,
one
I will
15 minutes
happily
later.
use the item when I have 99 of them. And then I will use them to my heart's content.
All right. Okay. Whatever. My other items are speaking of first person military shooters, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which is the next Call of Duty that's coming out. That big reveal is going to be on August 19th. That is going to be the opening night of Gamescom. That's when we're going to get the let's see, where is it? It's confirmed post Black Ops 2 setting, the return of David Mason. That was revealed at the Xbox showcase last month.
Then they
But
have that Milo Venturganales is in the role. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't paying that much attention to it.
He was
But
in Heroes. I know him from Heroes.
oh, him. Okay, all right. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an opening night live. That's going to be Tuesday, August 19th. Black Ops 7 will simply be part of the show's lineup. The showcase itself is going to be streamed live at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Or if you're in the UK, it's going to be 7 p.m.
Okay.
on August 19th. So if you want to find out what the next Call of Duty is, that or more details of what the next Call of Duty is, where you're going to find it in granular detail, that's where you're going to find it. So we don't have a release date yet for that. I would imagine we're going to find out the release date.
Yeah.
If not the release
I
window.
assume it'll be in November, like
I
it always
assume it's
is.
going to be in November too, as well. And staying on the topic of Call of Duty, and full disclosure, as always, I am dating someone at Sledgehammer. I am not revealing anything that I know about the game. No information you will ever hear from me on the show will be sourced to my relationship with that guy.
Breaking news, Call of Duty 7 is going to have a third-person mode with
He's not working.
intense jiggle physics. And yeah,
And NFTs.
and
Lots of NFTs.
tons of new skins.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, first off, he's not working on Black Ops 7, but thank you. And no.
Okay, so the next game is going to have the jiggle physics in third-person mode.
Possibly. But this is not from him. This is from other sources that are out in the wild already. So Sledgehammer is going to be working on the 2027 Call of Duty game because, of course, they have multiple studios that are working in
Yeah, they're
kind of
staggered.
like, yeah. So they stagger them out, and they're releasing 2027. And this came from a tweet from a Call of Duty insider named Ghost of Hope on Ghost of Hope's Twitter, his or her Twitter. The post does mention that the game won't be a futuristic follow-up to Advanced Warfare 3, which was the last game that Sledgehammer did in the Call of Duty series. That was what was previously rumored to be, that it would be essentially Advanced Warfare 4. Apparently, according to Ghost of Hope, not. It is going to be an all-new Call of Duty sub-series that is based in modern day. It's
Okay.
not going to be part of any. It's not going to be Black Ops. It's not going to be Modern Warfare. It's not going to be base Call of Duty. It's going to be base. It's going to be Call of Duty something, something, something.
Yeah.
And we don't know what, but it's going to be all new.
Okay, that'd be interesting to see them branch out into something a little new.
Yeah, because this is the first non-Modern Warfare or Black Ops game in 5 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a little crazy to think
Yeah,
about.
Modern Warfare went back to back, 2022 and 2023. Black Ops did Modern Warfare 4. Oh, sorry, Black Ops had been everything else previous to that, those next years. So we're looking at 5 years since there's been anything other than those two sub-franchises. Let's see. What else other information do I know about it?
Yeah, I feel like they've had a hard time putting out new sub-franchises. Like, they put out Vanguard when they went back.
Yeah, a lot of people really liked Vanguard. They were kind of excited by the fact that it was something different.
Yeah, but it was also like the poorest selling Call of Duty in a while.
Right.
And so that didn't take off. And then before that, they did Call of Duty Ghosts, which really didn't take off. Like, they've kind of had trouble branching out from the. I guess Advanced Warfare got 3 games. Did it get 3 games?
Advanced Warfare did.
Okay.
That was the last one. Advanced Warfare 3 was the last one that, in fact, I'll show you some swag. When Chris got hired, they delivered his computer, his PlayStation dev kit, which he has in the other room, which I took a picture of and sent to Nick.
Yeah.
And a swag bag. And I worked out the same deal with Chris that I had with Kevin. Did I get the swag bags?
Okay.
So yeah, that was the understanding with Kevin, is that I get the swag bags. So I have all of the Star Wars swag bags and all of the movie swag bags and all of jackets and T-shirts and stuff from all the movies he worked on, because that was the understanding is they're mine. But I'll show you mine.
Okay. And so as you were saying, it's not modern until military actions sneak by under the cover of unrelated political scandals. That's true. Unless there is a poorly hidden. Oh yeah, this is ripped from the headlines. It's not really modern.
So there you go. There's my Modern Warfare 3
more of the indie games, not so popular games. We support indie games, absolutely.
Are you kidding? We always support. Why do you think we're going to PAX?
Most of the stuff will be at PAX is definitely going to be indie games. Yeah. And then, wait, he also asked, did you all get your subscriptions to the new Game Informer magazine?
No.
Are they doing print subscriptions? I know they got shut down and they got brought back up.
Mm-hmm.
Did they start a print again, or is it just the website?
I think it's just the website. I don't.
Okay, but also
it's actually a print magazine anymore.
Cool hat.
Yeah, it's a very cool hat. So we got that, and then the messenger bag that goes with it.
So yeah, well, okay. Why are we? Before we went to PAX, you always talked about, oh yeah, we'll get PAX swag and give that away. Why not give away the Sledgehammer swag?
Oh no, that's mine.
Oh, okay. What about all the Star Wars swag?
So you can't regift. You can't take somebody else's swag. They give it to you, and then you give it to somebody else. That's kind of insulting.
You absolutely can.
That's kind of insulting. I
That is
would
the
do that.
life cycle of swag.
No.
Is it just gets passed around until someone finally goes,
Mm-mm.
fuck it, and throws it away.
Nope. I don't remember who I gave the gold Coke spoon that was a swag from Grand Theft Auto. I want to say 4. I think it was a Grand Theft Auto 4, and they handed out gold-plated Coke spoons, and I gave that to somebody. Yeah, and I gave that to somebody on the podcast. I want to say it was Corey Wallace. Was it you, Corey, or was it Shawnikin? I think it was Shawnikin got the Coke spoon. And to this day, I'm like a little like, I should have kept that. Oh, I should have kept that.
Nah, it would have. If you kept it, it would be right next to the Steam Deck.
No. It would be right next to my Shrek. I think I showed it to you. My Shrek mirror when they promoted the promotional first the Shrek movie. They handed out green Noxzema face cream and a mirror. That you'd hit the button and it was like
we need
GameHounds
swag. We had hats. We have a hat and shirt.
We have a hat and shirt, but they're not. No, those aren't swag. Those we wear to events. Those are actually our uniform.
Okay, I need to go see if I still have mine.
I hope you do because I have mine. I have the jacket, I have the shirt, and I have.
Look, I've moved since then. I don't know what's been
I hope you didn't throw anything away. That would be bad because Goalie made those for us. That was.
I know those were cool. I think I don't know why I wouldn't, but I'm just saying.
We might have to do GameHounds swag at some point. It's been. I mean, we had a GameHounds T-shirt a really long time ago, like when Hawks and I started. We had a GameHounds T-shirt. We haven't had a shirt that since, mostly because it cost me a lot of money to make those shirts, and I ate all of it. All of that money I ate. But maybe one day. Think about it. But if we do, you will be the first to know.
He says the closest I have is 2 fluorescent orange tiny build hats.
Oh, that's right. We did send you that after PAX. Remember, we made the PAX bag, and then we had to go all over Seattle to get it to be delivered to him because it was a PO box.
I remember that.
That was a pain in the ass, but that's how much we love you, AC Wraith, because it was a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah. Also, Game Informer is back in print and digital.
Oh, in print too. Oh, I wouldn't mind having that.
I guess $60 for the first year.
And then after that, $1 million. Gotta pay those bills somehow.
Anyways. What? Okay, I have a couple of other short items. Okay. For this week in Yves Guillemot news.
Oh God. Where is it? There we go.
Oh. No. Right. Okay, so the voice actor who voices Edward Kenway in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the remake, there's a rumored remake, and it's kind of like an open secret. And at a certain point, he was at a convention, and someone said, like, oh, yeah, I played through Black Flag. I really loved it. And he said, yeah, you might have to play through it again. Wink, wink. Apparently, Ubisoft talked to him and said, hey, don't talk about this remake or we will sue you.
I think that is absolutely standard operating procedure.
I'm sure it is, but like, what's funny is at this point, it's such an open secret that his little wink wink on it and Ubisoft's like threatening to sue him for something that other publishers are publishing stories and leaks about all the time is like, what the fuck are you doing?
You know what it was? That was the Streisand effect. It probably would have gone under the radar, except that they threatened to sue him. And now everybody knows about it. So everybody knows it's absolutely happening because why would they be suing if it wasn't happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on one hand, hey, Black Flag is one of the best Assassin's Creed games, like one of my favorites. A remake, I would totally be down for that. But also, it's coming from Ubisoft.
Yeah. When
Ah,
Black Flag came out, Ubisoft was a different company. That didn't age well.
they were.
Yeah.
The game aged well.
Oh,
Ubisoft
yeah.
did not age well.
Ubisoft did not. No, absolutely not. I've also heard that there is rumors of another that they're working on a new Assassin's Creed, which does not surprise me, but there's rumors out and about that I was reading about today, and I looked at it and I thought, I don't know if I want to mention it because it didn't seem like it was well enough sourced or enough substantial stuff to it. But apparently, from multiple different outlets are all talking about that there was kind of a leak about a new Assassin's Creed. Doesn't surprise me.
A new
I mean,
Assassin's Creed what?
game.
Well, yeah, of course they're working. They're working on like 3 games.
Let me see what it was.
They announced a couple previously. They've got Hexe coming out. That's the next big one that's supposed to be kind of like witch themed or
Mm-hmm.
like early American colonies, kind of focus around witches. And then I think there was like another downloadable game that hasn't come out yet. And then there's the whole Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is the like Call of Duty-esque hub that you can use to launch all other Assassin's Creed things. So like they've got a ton of AC stuff in the pipeline. We just don't know when it's coming out.
Wow, this says a lot for the kind of company that Ubisoft has turned into. When there is a Reddit thread from a question that somebody had titled, "What are the next approximately 10 Assassin's Creed games?" 10.
What are
Like
the
plus
answers?
let's see.
I want to know.
All right, here we go. I'll post it up here. It's a long
Okay.
thing.
When was this posted?
10 months ago.
Okay, so this is relatively new.
Yeah, as recently reported by Insider Gaming, Ubisoft's around 10 Assassin's Creed games coming out in the next 5 years. Now I see a lot of people reacting to the news in shock, but personally I don't think it's a big deal at this number of games. Includes spin-offs, multiplayer games, and mobile games alongside
Okay,
mainly
yeah. Okay,
single-player games and
so
remakes.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, yes, that came
Shadows,
out. Oh yeah,
Jade,
Jade. Second, oh yeah, the mobile game spin-off. That's right.
right,
Yeah,
Black
Black
Flag
Flag remake.
remake, Invictus,
Oh, Invictus. Okay, new multiplayer game.
rumored for 2025. It would have been released around when the Black Flag remake would have been released, but we don't know if its release will be impacted by the Shadows delay, but I feel that it will be to a lesser extent than Black Flag remake as it is to the multiplayer spinoff. Then
Okay.
there's Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
Hex,
Hexe. That's the one that I know of as the next big one.
Assassin's Creed Raid is rumored to be another multiplayer game that will be PvE, which sounds awesome.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Netflix,
Oh yeah, they announced that a while ago.
yeah.
That's not going anywhere.
Assassin's Creed Nebula,
Well, I think this will be the next
the
original
next
mainline
mainline
entry.
entry series. It's rumored to be in early development, but we know that it is a single-player game and will take place in 3 different settings: India, the Mediterranean, and
Interesting.
the Aztec Empire. It will most definitely release after Hexe, and I assume around 2028 or 2029.
Cool.
The second Assassin's Creed was announced when Yves Guillemot stated that Ubisoft had multiple Assassin's Creed remakes in development. I think the most likely game that is remaking is the first Assassin's Creed, as it is very outdated gameplay wise, and this game could release at its
It's
20th
20th
anniversary.
anniversary.
Right.
that would make sense.
And then Assassin's Creed Echoes, multiplayer game, rumored to be to use Ubisoft scalar cloud technology.
I like the first comment underneath.
Assassin's Creed Red, Assassin's Creed Blue, Assassin's Creed Gold, Assassin's Creed Silver, Assassin's Creed Ruby, Assassin's Creed Sapphire, Assassin's Creed Diamond, Assassin's Creed Pearl, Assassin's Creed Black, and Assassin's Creed White. And somebody said, don't forget Assassin's Creed Sword and Assassin's Creed Shield.
Yeah, they've got a lot of projects. It's look, it's the one franchise Ubisoft has that like really sells well. So they have got all their eggs in that basket.
Oh yeah. Assassin's Creed Yellow, an Ezio game where Leonardo follows you the whole game. Ezio, here, over here. Anyway, so yeah, that's something that I heard and I was looking into, and I didn't look very hard because it was like, yeah, I mean, we know they're working on an Assassin's Creed game. I just didn't thought what it was because we
Yeah.
all know there's a lot of them they're working on.
I think the last thing I heard about one of those is that the Netflix series,
Mm-hmm.
there was like an announced Netflix series 5 years ago, and I think they just announced a writer.
Wow.
I don't remember any more than that because I read the headline and just kind of rolled my eyes like this
Mhm.
is never happening.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know why that mention just sparked in my memory. Did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm finally watching Ted Lasso because I have
Oh,
access to
Ted Lasso's great.
so good. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, which I know most people have, but if you haven't watched it, you need to
I actually
watch Ted Lasso and Welcome to Wrexham.
I don't think most people have watched Ted Lasso because it's on Apple.
Apple. It is such a good series. But Ted Lasso and then you watch Welcome to Wrexham together. That's like a
Oh yeah,
perfect pairing. Perfect pairing.
it's a story about an American coach who
Football
goes
coach.
to the UK.
College, like levels, like third tier college football coach.
Yeah, he gets hired to coach a soccer team in the UK.
Yeah,
And so it's a lot of
premier soccer league team.
it's a lot of like fish out of water foreigner comedy, but like
Mhm.
it's just got a good heart to it. And all the
Oh god.
characters are funny.
Ted Lasso is just like the greatest guy ever. He
Yeah.
really is. All the characters are fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway.
We're gonna get I have one more news story,
Oh,
but I will also follow this uh diversion off a cliff.
okay.
Now that you have Apple,
Mhm.
2 shows.
Mhm.
The Studio is basically Seinfeld set in Hollywood. It's about oh, I forget the guy's name. You would know him if you see him. He becomes a new studio head. And it's a lot of him kind of bumbling his way through being a studio head because he wants everyone to like him. He just he's so passionate about it and he wants to make art, but also like he needs to make a fucking Kool-Aid movie because Barbie blew up. And so it's like you can be the head of the studio, but you need to make this Kool-Aid movie happen. And he's like, "Oh fuck, how do I get the Kool-Aid movie to happen?" And the first episode is great because it's all about how do I make this Kool-Aid movie happen? Oh, I can get Martin Scorsese on it if I do this other stuff. And it's a lot of it does the Seinfeld thing of let's take one single moment and one single awkward moment and let's build an episode around it.
Mhm.
And so there's a whole episode about you need to give a studio note to Ron Howard. Like, oh, he made this movie. This movie's great. God, that ending sucks. You got to tell him that the ending sucks. And he's like, I can't give a studio note to Ron Howard. I can't do it. You have to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. And the whole episode is just that back and forth of like, shit, how do I get through this awkward moment?
Mhm. All right. So, all right, I'm in for that, and on top of that, I think that Chris would do that because he loves Seinfeld, and I
Yeah.
can't stand Seinfeld.
Look,
Curb Your Enthusiasm, cannot
I
stand Curb Your
I am
Enthusiasm.
also not a fan of Seinfeld.
Oh my god, there's 2 of us!
I
There's
think
2 of us!
I think it's a perfectly fine show, but I
It's
don't think
fine.
it's great.
Mm-mm,
But
no.
I did really like the studio.
Okay, good to
And
know.
part of that may just be I like movies. And
Mhm.
so a lot of the humor, a lot of their they throw out names and jokes about directors and actors, and so it's like it's made for me.
Right, right.
Also, one of the best, most addictive, like sci-fi dramas. You want something with a mystery that you'll be like, I can't stop watching.
Severance?
Silo.
Oh.
Severance is good. Silo, you'll watch the first episode and go, I'm not going to sleep.
Is
I
that
need
the one based on the novel? I've read the
yes.
novel.
Hugh Howley? Hugh
Yes, it's
Howley?
fantastic.
Yeah. It is okay, so it is based on that trilogy of novels.
Ooh.
And see, I don't know. I haven't read the novel, so I don't know how it ends. I don't really know the answers to all the mysteries. but the show is so well done.
Oh, really?
It's so good, and the way they pace out the mystery is really good because it's like you get questions to the mysteries. It's not like Lost where they keep teasing you and teasing you and teasing you. You get answers, but then those answers just bring up more questions. And so
Mhm.
then you answer those questions, but it just brings up more questions. Oh, Silo is so good.
Mm. Okay, I'm down. And have you seen Murderbot?
I just see Murderbot. Yeah, Murderbot is sweet, which is weird to say about a show called Murderbot, but
Murderbot.
Murderbot is really sweet.
You kind of like Murderbot. You're rooting for Murderbot.
Yeah.
This
Murderbot is
misanthropic murdering cyborg thing.
Murderbot is just an awkward little dude.
Yeah,
You just want to give him a hug, and then he'll go
yeah.
like, "Why are you hugging me?
He's
Please
just like
stop."
a semi-sentient robot that can kill people, that is made to kill people, and he really wants to be Murderbot. He wants to be the Murderbot, but he can't because
He's
he's
too
a
busy
nice
watching
guy.
his shows.
He really, really likes his soap opera.
Yeah.
I've also heard great things about Shrinking, and I've also heard great things about what's the one with Owen Wilson?
Stick?
Stick. I've heard good things.
Okay. I haven't seen either
The
of
Stick is
those.
like the new Ted Lasso, is what I've heard.
Okay.
hmm
There's
All right.
a lot of sci-fi stuff on Apple that I want to watch. Look,
Yeah.
Apple, I know that they're like the lowest of the streamer by far.
Yeah.
But they have a niche of really great sci-fi shows. I will take it.
Apple puts out this is what I hate about Apple is they do put out really, really good, like Netflix puts out a lot of series. They put out a lot of good series. They put out a lot of mediocre series,
Oh
and
yeah.
they put out quite a few shitty series. Apple really doesn't put out a shitty series. They make very few by comparison, but they're almost all high quality, well thought out, and smart. There's no stupid series. Apple doesn't put out a stupid series. It respects your intelligence, you know, of who you are. I figure, if you have Apple TV, you're one of us. You're not
Yeah.
just like the commoners all have Netflix.
It's a lot of good shows, but also what I found, at least on the app that I have on my TV, is horrible because you cannot search for older shows. If I want to search for like a show that came out, 3 years ago, that's not in the top 10, good fucking luck.
Oh, really? I don't have a problem with that. Chris is, I actually go to the Apple TV and say, look up whatever
I don't
series it is, and then it shows me all where to find the series, and I can just go straight to it. So
I don't have Apple TV. I've got like it's just an app on LG TV.
That is what I mean. I'm not gonna lie. The Apple TV is a very, very, very good box because it unifies all of these different services that you have so that you can do a search. Like, I want to know where to watch. Give me a series that is an older series or a movie that's an older series. I want to watch a
Naked Gun.
Tarkovsky film. I want to watch the Naked Gun movies. You put in Naked Gun, it will show you all the movies and it will show you all of the different services that are playing it and how much each one costs.
Yeah.
Whether it's free, whether it costs, how much it costs. And it's all like in one page. So you could just go, all right, look it all up. And it's like, it'll just, and then all you have to do is click on it and it will go directly to that platform, that service, and load up for you.
I can't put another thing in the TV because all my plugs are already full. All my HDMI outlets are used.
Well, you plug in the Apple TV to your HDMI and then you plug in
No, I mean
other things into your Apple TV.
I can't plug a console into the Apple TV.
I believe you can pass through. Well, what do you have plugged in?
2 consoles, a sound bar, and I think a third console.
I believe that you can plug the sound bar into the Apple TV. And I believe you can plug consoles into the Apple TV and they become part of the Apple TV interface that you can go into and you can see YouTube TV, YouTube, Paramount Plus, Hulu. It's all on the screen. It's all of them. And then you could also see console games, your console that you've plugged into it. It's
Okay.
a pretty nifty device.
I'll look into that.
Apple TV has done it right. I mean, they've been doing it for a really long time, and they do it very, very well.
Yeah. Yes, I can get an HDMI splitter. I have found the HDMI splitters to be like really iffy. Sometimes they work, other times like they don't. I don't know. I have found them to always be splitty. Not splitty. Iffy.
Iffy.
And then Ezio says Murderbot sounds like something Deathlock would call their robot, which is absolutely true.
I think that Murderbot would love to think that he would be hired by Deathclock. I think that's what he really kind of sort of wants to be, but he would get there and he'd decide he really didn't like them very much.
No, I think he would like them.
Right. But he'd care about them too much. And then rather than let them do all these terrible things, stupid things to get themselves hurt and killed, he would kind of try and stop them from doing it.
No, I think he would do the same thing. He'd just rescue them from their own chaos.
True.
And
he would
he'd- and
rescue
he'd-
them from their own chaos.
And he'd complain about it the entire time.
He complain. He'd question. It's like, do I really want to stop this from happening? I mean, they're just squishy humans, and God, I hate them. God, I hate these fuckers. I hate them. I gotta save them. Damn it. Anyway,
That's oh no, wait, I did have one item left. I forgot.
Okay.
And I just bring this up because this is like kind of interesting. So 2K has been working on a new BioShock game for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
There were first rumors about it in 2018, and then I think they officially mentioned it on a
Sorry, I have to say,
like an earnings call.
bartenders say spoke truth. He says, ha 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 ha. You either love or hate Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yes, exactly.
I've never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm because I'm not the biggest fan of Seinfeld, and so
Exactly.
I thought,
and
I don't
forced.
think I need to see
and
it.
Chris loves Seinfeld, and he keeps trying to show it to me and saying, "This is really funny. You should watch." I'm like, I'm familiar with all the episodes. I don't like Seinfeld. And he'll be just like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm like, I watched it. Okay, I watched like 5 episodes. Don't like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Really don't. But he's going to keep trying. Anyway, you were saying BioShock 4.
Yes. So they've been working on BioShock 4 for a long time. They like announced an earnings call in 2019, but they made a point of saying very early stages. Apparently, it just recently failed an internal review for the story. And as part of that is getting a narrative overhaul. And the head of the studio, Cloud Chamber Games, is out. And in addition to the creative director, Hogarth de la Plante, he's been pushed into a publishing role. So he's no longer a creative director. So the whole game, the two heads are kind of getting shifted around. Has 2K is like this, and it specifically mentions the story. So apparently they like how it plays, but they're like, the story is nowhere near what we want it to be. And unfortunately, as part of this, employees were told at an all-hands meeting that the company needs to become more agile and efficient.
You know what that says?
We're going to lay off half of you.
Layoffs. Absolutely. Layoffs coming. You know, I was having a conversation with Chris about why so many games, can I say this?
Why so many games go through development hell?
Yeah. I'm not going to say debatable. I'm not going to. Yeah. Anyway, why so many games seem to kind of wander in the middle of nowhere. Like you say, you call it development hell, but what it really is that, the Anthem effect, where nobody really knows what they're doing. Like it affected uh,
Dragon
um,
Age.
Dragon Age. It affected Anthem. It affected many, many, many other games where it's like you have this series that was a great series and everybody freaking loved it. And then the next one that they do in the modern age, it kind of goes into this, I don't say development hell because that makes it sound like things are failing. It's just that there's no real guidance. It doesn't feel like there is anybody making any decisions.
Yeah, like there's
It's
no
just a
clear
bunch of people.
vision.
There's no vision.
It's a game being made in order to fulfill like a shareholder promise because this is an IP and we need to exploit our IPs. So we're going to make another Dragon Age game because of course we're going to make another Dragon Age game.
Right. It's
But
being
no
made
one on
by
the
committee.
but no one on the team really knows what to do with the next Dragon Age game.
Right. Exactly. It's being made by committee.
Yeah.
It's that they're coming up with ideas and then they want to pitch them to the people that are paying the bills. But the people that pay the bills aren't really gamers and they don't really game. So it's like nobody's making any decisions. And then it kind of goes into this cycle of like, you're working for since 2019 in early stages of the development. And here it is 6 years later. And the story doesn't pass muster. Like, honestly, the easiest part of a game is the story.
Well, like that's the part that kind of requires the least amount of work. You can have
Mhm.
you can iterate on the story like by yourself in a
Right.
room.
You can change the story around pretty easily. And so, yeah. Anyway, and I was saying, there's a lot of games like this that, you hear about 5 years ago and then you see a trailer for it and the next thing you know, the whole thing is apparently in development hell and then the whole studio gets closed and the game gets canceled. Just for an example of something that may or may not have happened recently in the news. And it occurred to me that back in the day, there were superstar developers, the Cliff Blazinskis, the Tim Schafers,
the auteurs.
the Arturs, right? The American McGee, for God's sakes.
I think he wanted to be thought of as an auteur, but
But it was his name on it, and
American
he
McGee?
knew what he was making. Peter Molyneux, everybody knew who they were. Hideo Kojima is a very good example of somebody who's still doing it. They knew what they wanted. They were the person that was making a decision, and they were a big enough name that they could go in front of the suits and being able to say, "This is what I'm making. You need to trust me because I'm American fucking McGee." And they'd be like,
I don't think anyone has ever said that.
"Well, Cliff Blazinski, making Cliff and Tim Todd Howard going in front and saying, motherfucking Todd Howard, and I am working on a game on this. This is my decision. I am making these decisions."
I want to say I'm American fucking McGee, and I'm making the game that I want. It's like,
sit down, bitches.
It's like the beginning of Guardians of the
When
Galaxy.
American McGee talks, people listen. Anyway, so back in our day, back in the early days of these incredible IPs that were all made kind of around the same time. You think about BioShock, you think about Mass Effect, you think about Dragon Age, you think about Fable. All those games were kind of made in the same generation-ish time.
Yeah.
And it's because Gears of War, they were made by big, powerful personalities who had a vision, and the buck stopped there because they were the superstar. Their name was on it. If they fucked up, everybody knew they fucked up. It wasn't their team. It wasn't the developers. It wasn't the publishers. It was them. When Todd Howard made a shitty end to BioShock, not BioShock, fuck. No,
Skyrim?
what was the game? No, what was the game?
Starfield.
Okay,
Oblivion.
Starfield.
Fallout.
Perfect example.
3, 4.
When Todd Howard fucks up Starfield, everybody blames Todd Howard. His name is on it. He's the name. Neil Geiger. He's the name. So now, without these big names that everyone knows, without these superstar personalities that have somehow kind of vaporized, name a superstar personality makes a game now.
Now, I think the closest we have is Neil Druckmann.
Right. That's the closest we have. We had a whole stable. That's what that era was. It was
So I
the guy, that one
Yeah,
guy
I
whose name
kind of
was on it. And when they lost that, they lost the ability. And Chris pointed out, he's like, it's because the people that are leading games now are coming from other production roles. They were story producer, or they were some other kind of sub producer within a game who have moved up now to game developer. They were like, this is their game. But they don't know how to do, because there's so much now that goes into making a game. They don't know anything about story. They have no clue. They don't know anything about, and all these different silos. They have no idea. They know their expertise, but they don't know other expertise. And it's kind of like, you have an executive producer and then you have other producers on a movie. And just because you're a really good producer doesn't necessarily mean you'd be a really good executive producer. Like, you may not know how to find locations. You may know how to, work whatever it is that you need to work in what you do, but you might not know how to do the finance. You might not know how to do any of the other things that the executive producer has to oversee. It has to be somebody who knows all of the movie making part of it. That has to be the executive producer. And because games are so complicated, there's very few people that know how to make the whole game or are familiar with the process of making the whole game. So you get people that are like, I know how to make, I know what the story is, or I know what, this part of the game is, but I don't know anything about that. So it gets lost, and you get into this cycle of people kind of coming up and saying, well, what if we do this? Or what if we have this feature? Or what if we make this change? So you get into the production hell of nobody being able to make a decision, because there's nobody whose name is on it that's a powerful personality that will go, yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah. I think it has less to do with like the personality on top and more to do with just what happens when teams get too big. Because, in the 360 era, I think we can look back on that and kind of say that 360 PS4 era, maybe PS3 era kind of too, was like the golden age of graphics were good enough that you could have games that looked really, really good.
Right.
But teams were still small enough that there was a speed that you could develop games for, right? You think about the number of like Uncharted. We had, 3 Uncharted games in the PS3 era. And that's kind of unheard of now. But that was kind of the perfect area where like team size and the size of the scope of games was small enough that you could put out things relatively quickly with a smaller team. And now,
Exactly,
now
because
it's just
the people that
everything.
were working on it, the people that were working on those games in those small teams knew how to make games, like a whole game. Now you have
Yeah.
everybody working there that many of them have never made a game.
Well, that's what happens
They've
when
worked on many, 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 many games, but they've actually never made a whole game themselves. They've gone to school because they love games and they learned how to do what they do as part of the game, but none of them, like Chris, started making his own games. And then he worked on games that had 4 people on it. He was one of 4 people that made games for EA. So he knew how to make the whole game. He knew every part of it. All 4 of them could interchange with anything that they were working on. Now you don't have those people,
Well, what
because people
happens
that
is
get into games
it's
go to
so
school
big.
for it.
The teams are so big that you can't manage them alone. You
Right.
need like layers and layers of management to organize the art team. But the art team itself is split into several different groups. And like that's just a result of the teams and manpower that it takes to make these games is so big that you can't it's just hard to manage, right? Instead of being a
And the
motorboat,
people and the
you're a cruise
person
ship.
right, and the person at the top only knows how to work on the engines. Like, it's
Well,
where he came
not
from.
even that.
He
The
came from
person,
engineering. Like, he's familiar with all the other parts of the cruise ship, but he came from engineering because so he's not familiar with all of these other, like you said, teams and different aspects within those teams.
yeah, I
Nobody
think
can
the
understand the whole process of making a game because nobody in the business now that's working there has made a whole game.
Yeah, I think you have situations like Neil Druckmann and Todd Howard, who are the CEOs of their respective companies,
Mhm,
but they are also still creative directors on a lot of games. They still work on the games because they did grow up with that. They kind of worked their way up through the company. I had thought Hidetaki, oh, what was his name? Hidetaki Miyazaki, the
mhm.
CEO of From Software, but he's also the creative director of Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. Like he knows those games and he kind of has that vision, but also he's the CEO. Neil Druckmann is the CEO of Naughty Dog. Todd Howard is the CEO. So like they have the political power within their organization to say, I want to make this game. You know,
Mhm.
someone working under EA Studio X. Like they have to do what EA says. I
Right,
also think, again, big games require a lot of big money. Big money means you have a lot of people going, do we really want to do that? Do
right.
we really need to do that?
Or
And
we
just a
have
lot of second guessing, a lot more people. When you have a lot more money involved, you have a lot more fingers in the pie. And when you have more fingers in the pie, everything kind of gets diluted.
right, and then you have a lot of people that are trying to make a name for themselves and trying to move up so that the way that they think that they're gonna do that is to make a suggestion to put something into a game that isn't gonna work. Like, it's a great idea, but it isn't gonna work, and then they spend months and months and months and months, despite everybody, like, say, in a particular arm of the actual coding of it saying, this isn't gonna work, 'cause and they can't explain to them, it's gonna take too much memory, and it doesn't it the way that we've written the game, it won't work. But then they spend months and months and months working on this thing that somebody wants to happen to get to the end of it and go, "Oh, it's not gonna
They
work."
don't have the technical knowledge to
Exactly,
realize that this isn't gonna work. They
exactly.
have a vision and they think that that vision can just come true, but they don't realize the technical limitations involved.
Exactly, because they've never worked in the technical limitations. You've never had to deal with the technical limitations. They're that's not their thing. That's not what they went to college for.
AC Wraith linked to this an article called "Too Big to Succeed."
Ooh,
I don't know what this article is about, but that's a
great
good
name.
title.
That's a great title for it. Yeah, and that is why when, I forget who was asking about indie games, why are we not talking about indie games?
Oh,
That
yeah,
is
he was
why
just saying like for the listeners.
oh, yeah. That is why both Nick and I are so, in many ways, focused on independent games. That's why we play independent games, because those are the teams that are small enough with the very honed vision. It's somebody who's like sees it in their mind's eye and knows what they want to make and works at making that, as
Yeah.
opposed
Well,
to big EA teams where it's like, we know we want to make a, a Ookie Bookie Spelooky 2. So let's make Ookie Bookie Spelooky 2. And so then they go like, all right, well, I mean, nobody really knows what they want to put in Ookie Bookie Spelooky 2. They don't want to make another Ookie Bookie Spelooky just like one. So they got to put something in that's different. And then you've got all these like bros that want to like make a name for himself that goes, hey, let's do it instead of a block. Let's make it a ball. And you're like, but that's the engine can't make a ball. No, you're going to work for the next 8 months trying to put a ball instead of a block into Ookie Bookie
we
Spelooky.
have pixel art. Our entire art is based around squares.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's all squares. It's not gonna work, dude. It's like, well,
Um,
trust me, you can make it work. I believe in you.
it reminds me of stories about the development of Clair Obscura,
Mhm.
Expedition 33. and how they've said that at a certain point they changed the story completely because it just wasn't working. And like they were kind of working on things and iterating on it, but like it wasn't coming together. And then they had a breakthrough for the story, and that's when everything started coming together. And I think that is what these companies like 2K, when they say we want to be more agile, that's what they're talking about. It's like they want a company that's small enough that, oh, we can iterate on ideas, and when we find one that works, we can pivot to that one. But like Sandfall can do that because it's a smaller team of people, but they all know each other and they all communicate with each other. It's harder for a bigger company to do that. Even if 2K fires a bunch of people, there is still the structure of the company doesn't allow for that kind of agility. And so you
Right.
can't just fire people to make a company more agile. You have to change like the structure within it.
Right. And the
And
culture within it. Because if you
yeah,
make
and the
it,
culture.
because
Yeah.
otherwise, because nobody wants to put their neck on the line, especially after you've just fired 50% of your people. Who's going to make any decisions at that point? Everybody
Yeah.
is now shell shocked because they've lost all of their friends that
Oh,
were working on
that
this
was
thing.
that was what happened with Concord. Remember that the stories came out about a culture of toxic positivity where everyone
Mhm.
was like, no, the game's going to be great. Everyone's going to love it. The higher ups were like, no, it's going to be great. The people working on it were just like, man, I just want a job. I just want to like, I'm getting a paycheck. I'm not going to
I'm just
complain.
putting my
I'm not
head
going to rock
down.
the boat.
Exactly. It's like, as long as they keep paying my paycheck, I don't fucking care. It's gonna be a shitty game. I know it's gonna be a shitty game. There's nothing I can do to change that, so I'm just gonna keep working on it and
Yeah. Like
keep collecting my money.
I've given my thoughts to my boss. Nothing has happened, so I'm going to work on this. I'm going to get my paycheck, and when it's probably going to flop when it comes out, but you know what? I'll deal with it then. I'll find a new job then.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And, it's a it they're gonna put their heads down. They're not gonna say anything. They're just gonna keep working on it, and you're never going to, if you're quote unquote agile in that way without changing the culture, what you end up having is arguably a sports car, very nimble, can turn on a dime, but it's got no steering wheel. So it's just going all over the place. It's not actually running down the road. There's nobody actually driving it. It's just turning, and it's just going to make all of these turns faster and weirder. Almost going to be less efficient by making it easier to turn, if that makes sense. You run the risk of it losing any kind of vision or direction because it turns constantly. If you have, an idiot at the wheel who doesn't know what he's doing. And arguably most of these games, these companies have an idiot at the wheel who doesn't know what he's doing because they never made games. They've worked in games, but they never made a game.
Yeah. It's Bobby Kotick, or he put someone. He's a widget salesman.
Yeah, or they put a widget salesman in there.
Yeah.
Bobby, love him or hate him. Actually, just hate him. Go ahead, hate him. But the man could wrangle cats and
He,
make them make money.
he at least knew how to produce widgets, which is more than you can say for a lot of these other games who
Right.
want to be widgets, but
Right.
are like, shit, we just can't get the widget pipeline working.
Mhm. Yeah, and he did not suffer fools gladly. He would not let something go into development hell for 6 years and then not have a story and then have to
Wow.
fire everybody. It would never get to that point with Bobby Kotick. He would be on it immediately and he'd be saying, "Tell me about what you're making, show it to me, yes or no. Love it, hate it, make it this way.
While at
Go."
the same time threatening to fire his secretary.
And yeah, if you don't, yeah, right, exactly. Uki and AC Ray says Ookie Bookie Spelooky is already a live service game now. No sequel required.
No, look, we'll put out a sequel to boost sales. Will the sequel be better? It'll be worse.
We're not going to really be live services. We're going to have seasons. We're in season 17 of Ookie Bookie Spelooky.
We're going to start at season 17.
We're going to release Ookie Bookie Spelooky 2 before we release Ookie Bookie Spelooky 1.
That's true.
There you
Look,
go.
look,
There's
look,
vision.
look. it was good enough to get a sequel. It,
That's what we're gonna put at the bottom of the box. Good enough to get a sequel. And there's no original.
oh no.
Genius. Ookie Bookie Spelookie just keeps getting better and better. It really does.
It does.
One of
See,
these days we've got to make this game.
no, this is a perfect example. We're just spitballing ideas, and we have too many ideas. We're gonna do this. Well, no, we're gonna pivot and do this. No, we're gonna pivot and do this, and so it never gets made. Ookie
Well-
Bookie Spelookie is the quintessential like AAA development hell game.
So Ezio Helsing says, I forgot the name of the game, but I know it started at 2. Yes, it did.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Ookie Bookie Spelookie 2, The Bookening.
No, there was like another game that was actually like something 2, but it was the first one.
Wasn't
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, it was a game. It was like the game you reviewed it like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Did I review it?
Yeah, and it was like a spoof where it was like it broke the fourth wall and it was self-aware of that it was its own sequel, but it was a first game, but they kept on talking
Creepy
about
Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
That was also like a good game. That was a really good game.
He says no, that wasn't it.
Yeah,
Really?
no-
Bookening wasn't Wookie Bookie Spelookie 2, The Bookening?
No, I think that
remember.
was it, but he's saying that's not the game he was thinking.
Oh,
of.
it's not the game he was
Yeah,
thinking.
no, you're right. Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3.
They stole our idea. Are they listening to us? Creepy redneck dinosaur people, if you're listening to us, call
Actually, you know what? Oogie Boogie Spooky is totally the kind of game that Strange Scaffold would put out.
me. Should we try and pitch them?
Maybe. They've done a lot of like they have one game where it's like you clean up after you clean up a starbase. You're like a janitor on a sci-fi thing. Click holding, which is like cuckolding with clicks. You're like stuck in a room with this strange guy who's like sitting there saying, "Keep clicking, keep clicking," and you just click the mouse, and he's like, "Click it faster."
Oh, that's fucked up. Oh my God, that's fucked up. Okay. Anyway, we have
Strange Scaffold is a fun developer.
I was so proud of us because I was like, hey, we're going to get out of here in like about 2 hours. And that was an hour ago.
we totally would have if we hadn't gone down so many crazy
Tangents.
diversions.
Oh God, so many tangents.
Look, we took 2 weeks off. We need to come back with a bang.
Yep. All right. So we should close out this show. What are your plans this week? Anything?
Wu Chang, and I bought a bunch of games on the PlayStation sale that I should play.
Okay. I've actually got some time today. No, I don't. I have to hem a pair of pants. Oh God, it has happened to me. I am hemming the girl child's jeans
Why?
because they need to be hemmed, and she looks like a
Wait,
homeless person.
what does
and she
that
doesn't-
mean? Does that mean that they're too wide, too
long.
thin, too long?
Yeah, that's what
Well,
a hem is at the bottom.
Can't you just like sell the pants, return them, and then get a pair that actually fits right?
Nope, these are her favorite jeans, and they're about a foot too long, and she loves the way they fit, but they're
Okay.
too long, so she just wears them, and she looks like a homeless person.
I mean, okay.
School's about to start, and I don't want her. I mean, I know I am 58 years old, and I'm not fully aware of fashion for teenage girls, but I've been looking at all the teenage girls all summer long, and nobody looks like that. Nobody's wearing her jeans like that. She needs to have them hemmed, and I'm insisting. She's like, well, I don't want them hemmed. I'm like, they really need to be hemmed.
Look,
Claire.
she's just bringing back the 90s baggy fashion.
Oh no, that's what she's shooting for. She's
Yeah.
not even making that.
No, this is the Gen Z version of that.
No, they're like this long. They're like this far too long. Like they bunch up to her knees.
Yeah, they're half baggy jeans, half parachute pants.
Maybe, but she looks homeless. So I have to stop this from happening before she goes to high school, her first day of high school. This would be really, really bad, and I don't want to scare her. But it would be
Okay.
really bad if she shows up looking like that.
Do you know how to hem pants?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Of course.
That's good at least.
But all of a sudden, I've turned into the kind of person who's hemming pants for a 13-year-old about to go to her first day of high school.
You mean a dirty 3-letter word that starts with M?
Yes. Yeah.
Move the microphone out of the way.
That's right. Just hold my hair, Nick. I need to puke.
No,
yeah.
Hold my mic.
That's right. Hold my mic. All right. Anyway.
Oh wait. Also, AC just asked. We didn't discuss that yet, did we?
What?
What? Oh, Subnautica 2. Oh yeah, the Subnautica 2 kerfuffle. We discussed that last time we were here.
And it's gonna go to a lawsuit. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the popcorn already. I'm ready.
And then he says middle school is worse than high school. High school is too busy for fashion. Middle school is posing. I don't know. I think high school is like where all the shit gets real.
Mm-hmm.
I thought middle school is like the test bed.
Yeah. No. I mean,
Mother, wait. We need new school supplies.
Nope. But yeah, no. I mean, high school is where 19-year-olds are being exposed to 14-year-olds.
Don't you mean the other way around?
Yes and no. It's yeah. I mean, the struggle is real. And I can say this as a girl who went into school at 13 years old, 14 years old, I entered high school at 14 years old. And yeah, that did not go well. Just say it did not go well at all.
Oh man,
Thank God for drama club and video games.
You're gonna have to help her with math homework.
Oh no, that's not gonna happen. That's what father's for. Father has a bachelor's in computer science.
Okay, he can solve all the number shit.
Yep, absolutely. And she's too good at English to ever need me, so that's fine.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now I'm covered. I'm not gonna help with any of that. Fuck that. But I'll hem a pair of jeans, which is what I'm gonna do soon. I'm off here.
Okay.
Anyway, anything else before we close out the show?
No.
See, Theo Helsing says, I hated Algebra 1, love Algebra 2. I hated Algebra 2, loved Algebra 1. Loved Algebra 1. Oh, God. I thought for the first time in my life I might be good at math when I took Algebra 1. And then I took geometry, and that was it.
I have a distinct memory in high school. Like, I took all the algebra classes. I was good at them. I was like, I know this shit. And so, as a senior, I took pre-calculus because, like, well, that's just what you do. First quarter, I got an A because it was basically just like recapping algebra.
Right.
Second quarter, I got a B. Third quarter, I got a C. Fourth quarter, I got a C minus, motherfucker. But I was like, no more math.
You're just holding on to that ledge. Just need to hold on for one more semester. Oh. And then
never took a math class after that.
Yep,
I reached my limit.
Yeah, I took Algebra 1, and then I took geometry, and
Shepherd.
And my Algebra 1 teacher was so wonderful. And then I went to the geometry teacher who at the time was on a list. I since found out.
What kind of list?
It was on a list that was at Cal Berkeley. He was one of the teachers that was on the list from Cal Berkeley that if they saw somebody that came from our high school to look at the grades of the math to see who gave them, because he was so notoriously bad that they actually gave you credit for getting it like lower grades in his class because they didn't hold it against you so much,
Oh my
because he
God.
was such a notoriously bad high school math teacher. And he taught uh, geometry, algebra 2, and calculus. And Mr. Gerke. Mr. Gerke?
Jesus.
No, it wasn't Mr. Gerke. That was my science teacher. Who was his name? Can't remember his name. He was absolutely awful. So, of course, I went to uh, geometry and was just that was the end of me thinking I might actually be good at math.
The end of numbers.
And then I didn't find out I was actually good at math until I went to college and I was dating a math major, and I could do math calculations in my head that he was like, I have a hard time telling like math juniors, explaining to it how it works. And you got it in less than 5 minutes. And he goes, I've never seen somebody that be able to do that and to do it in your head. And I'm like, wait, am I good at the math? He goes, you're crazy good at math. I'm like, who knew? If I'd have known this, I wouldn't have just like given up on math in high school. But I
Yeah,
gave up.
teachers.
Yeah. That's what happens. One bad teacher is all it takes. And all of a sudden your whole life gets derailed.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, you were either good in algebra or you were good in geometry. Also not explained to me. Once I got to geometry, I was like, oh, you're bad at math.
Hmm.
AC Ray said, I had a college teacher who used to waste the class time on the outline of what he was going to teach and then never get to actually doing it. Oh, Jesus. How so many bad
Fucking-
teachers made it through. I mean, this is the reason why Gen X is the way that Gen X is. Beyond the fact that our parents just gave us a house key and said, fend for yourself. Walk yourself to school, walk yourself home, come home, make yourself snack, and then put dinner in the oven for when we get home. And then like they didn't care what we did on weekends as long as we were not in the house. But we had teachers that were like barely competent. And you know, everybody knew they were barely competent. It was like, meh, that's how it goes. Sometimes there's bad teachers, sometimes there's shitty teachers.
Yeah.
That's why Gen X is like how we are. That's why we're the ones like the please just don't bother looking at us generation. We were like 30-year-olds when we were 14. We were completely inured to everything. At that point, you couldn't hurt us. We were made of steel. This is fucked up, and we also need a way to get rid of those teachers. Well, a lot of those teachers don't make it anymore. I mean, there's too many helicopter parents that will absolutely nail a teacher to the wall if their kid gets a B. Man, when we got like B's, it was like, okay, do better. If we got a D, nobody went to the teacher and said, you're a bad teacher. They went to me and kicked my ass. Physically kicked my ass because I got a D and grounded us. And grounding meant you went into your room, no TV, no phone. The phone was on the wall in the kitchen. If you were in your room, that's all you had. The only
I
thing
feel
you
like
had was a fucking book and a pencil.
I feel like
That was it.
the two different times of now and like the 80s to say no phone means very different things.
Oh, very different things. Yeah. We had no phone. We had no internet. We had no computers. We did not have a TV in our room. Or if we did, when we were grounded, the parents walked in, unplugged it from the wall, and took it out. If you were grounded because you got a D, you only thing that you had in your room was your school book and your Trapper Keeper, and that was it. Maybe a peachy folder, your Mead notebook, your number 2 pencil. And you
No
studied
Merlin?
until you learned it. And if you really fucked up, you know what they would do? Send you to bed without dinner. Can you imagine that? Imagine if a parent withheld dinner from their kid because they failed a math test.
Called CPS.
Yeah, they did that. It wasn't just my parents. Everybody's parents sent them to bed without dinner. If you really fucked up. And our grounding did not last a day. It was like a week or 2 weeks or up to a month. Every day in your room, and all you had was 4 walls. It was solitary confinement. So yeah. I mean, teachers like that don't exist anymore because our parents thought, they were like, hey, you learn. If the teacher's not teaching you, you open the book and you read the damn book and you figure it out yourself. There's other people around. Ask someone, ask me, ask anybody, but figure it out. That's what the math books are for. So nobody looked at the teacher and said, it's your fault. They looked at us and said, it's your fault.
I have a cat on my hand, so I can't use my mouse. But as your Helsing said, instead of taking the phone away from them, I give them a flip phone. That way I can still get a hold of them.
The girl child would lose her goddamn mind. So I gotta go because I've got to go hem.
That's right.
I gotta go hem a $250 pair of jeans that don't fit.
I paid the same price for game consoles.
I know.
Okay.
AC Ray said, I was an A's and B's student. No grounding, just undiagnosed coping mechanisms. Yeah, we definitely learned our coping mechanisms, didn't we? It was called grin and fucking bear it. Life is hard. Get over it. Anyway, anything else before we close out the show?
Not for me.
All right. So let's close it out.
Okay.
You've been listening to GameHounds, episode what? Episode God, my childhood sucked. Episode 788, recording on.
That's the new title.
Recording on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick City Cole. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook, we're The GameHounds. On YouTube, we're GameHounds Vids, VIDS as in videos. On Twitch, we're The GameHounds. And according to Bartender Say, and he's 100% right, support your local game stores, motherfuckers. They're important. Trust me. Anyway, speaking of supporting local things, support your local podcasters. We are 100% listener funded. If you would like to donate, $1 a month is all we ask to be a patron. Patreon.com/GameHounds is our site. Please go there. $1 a month. That's $25, 25 cents a show. That's like slave wages. And we do this because we love it and we don't mind being your slaves, bringing you the news, reviews, information, and wild tangents for 3 hours a week. So please, if you can, spare us a little love and go and give us $1 a month.
It's not GameStop.
Just don't give it to GameStop. What else? Our Discord. Yes, when we mentioned the Discord, we are going to PAX later on this month. If you are interested in us finding information or you just want to talk to us, we live in the Discord channel. Go to our Discord channel, join up, look at the food that you probably wouldn't eat, thanks to Ezio Helsing for putting that in there each week. Let us know what games you would like to talk about or like us to interview at PAX, or just, in general, just say hi. And Bartender Say, sub to Twitch and gave a sub. Thank you, baby. Love you, and we appreciate that. Yeah, and if you are not subscribed, please hit the notification bell on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, become a subscriber, or at least just put a star on it or something. Facebook, give it a like. However you can show your love, it absolutely helps. Also, thank you to everybody who listened to us as a podcast on iTunes. It is called GameHounds Podcast. It's the same show, the audio version. If you're listening to us there, please leave us some feedback there. We will see you all next week, Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, or on iTunes or iHeartRadio. See you then. Bye-bye, everyone. was almost so freaking professional, but I couldn't find the pot up button. Ah,
Yeah. Oh, thank
Let's
you.
see.
He says,
Really?
"Yo,
You've been
has been
listening
listening
since
since 2020."
thank you for finally coming in. This isn't your first show that you've come to, bartender, huh? By the way, what's in a Manhattan? If you're such a bartender, I want to know.
Oh, I was like, what? Why?
Because he's a bartender. I want to know what's in a Manhattan. Mostly because I don't know.
No, I know.
What?
I made one. Wait, I can also hear myself.
Oh.
It's like whiskey and vermouth, sweet vermouth.
Is it?
And that's kind of it. It's like just those two things.
Isn't it supposed to have a cherry?
You could have a cherry, but I was too lazy when I was making them for myself. When I make it for myself, I cut out as many
Is
ingredients
it sweet
as
vermouth?
possible.
Isn't there supposed to be some simple syrup involved in there? Am I wrong?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well.
Oh, also, AC Ray says bartender say was here in previous episodes.
Oh, good. Thank
He
goodness.
never remembers these things. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I'm old and I have Alzheimer's. Who are you again? And where's my pants? All right, everyone. Have a great week, bartender. Thank you so much for subbing. Seriously, it really, really, really does make a difference, and we really appreciate it. Have a great week, everyone. We'll talk to you next week. And I may stream something. No, I gotta go hem pants. Fuck.
Don't forget those pants. You've been talking about it all. Next week, we will ask you about those pants.
I will. I'll take a picture. You can see how I hemmed my pants.
Put it in the Discord.
Would you hem this? All right, everyone. He says, I watched the YouTube stream about a year ago and interacted and first started listening when you were talking Returnal and Ordinal the Blind. Oh, wow. That was a while ago.
Blind.
Yeah.
Oh, Returnal. That was so good.
All right, Nick. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye.